Welcome back to the Rich Eisen Show.
Real deep, baby.
I have no explanation for what happened.
Rich Eisen Show.
Stafford takes, fires one down the middle. This one is intercepted. Picked off by Boogie Basher for the Bills.
Live from the Rich Eisen Show studio in Los Angeles.
I love Matthew Stafford. There was a couple unfortunate balls that get tipped up, but we're going to keep riding.
The Rich Eisen Show. Today's guests. 5-time Pro Bowl defensive back Richard Sherman. Actor and author Brian Baumgartner. Pro Football Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. Broncos wide receiver Courtland Sutton. And now, it's Rich Eisen.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to this edition of the Rich Eisen Show here on the first Friday of the NFL season with one game in the books. We are here live on our YouTube stream, youtube.com/Rich Eisen Show. It is our last show streaming live on this YouTube page because starting Monday with most of week one in the books in advance of the Monday nighter between the Broncos and the Seahawks, we will be streaming live and airing live every single day on the Roku channel, and that is free on all Roku devices. That is free on Samsung Smart TVs. That is free on Fire TV. It is free on the Roku mobile app, which is free for you to download from the App Store because the Roku channel's right in that Roku mobile app. And then you go to the RokuChannel.com if you want to go desktop on us. That's fine. It's free there, too. And we start streaming for free on September 12th, this coming Monday. And we have a great show on our YouTube stream and this Odyssey app, as well as the Rich Eisen Show terrestrial radio network that we say a Good Friday to today. What a show we've got. Richard Sherman is going to be joining us in about 19 minutes time. So much to talk about with a guy who is now part of the paparazzi on Prime Video. Amazon with Thursday Night Football on Prime Video starting next Thursday when the Chiefs and the Chargers play one another. And Richard, I can't wait to get his thoughts on last night's game and next week's game and the news that is breaking out of Baltimore that Lamar Jackson has decided to bet on himself. And whatever the Ravens put on the table apparently wasn't good enough for him or wasn't commensurate enough with other contracts in the league for him. And he's representing himself. And that will be a conversation coast to coast in the business of football, that perhaps him being unrepresented by a professional agent caused this to happen. And Richard is a guy who negotiated his contract with the San Francisco 49ers, and can't wait to ask him about the Lamar news and the news that Russell Wilson confirmed yesterday to ESPN that the Seattle Seahawks attempted to trade him before the 2018 draft, which Chris Brockman, you and I, and TJ, when we were in Dallas, Texas for that draft, before that night where we expected 5 quarterbacks to go, and the first one was Baker, and the last one was the aforementioned Lamar Jackson. And we heard, hey, keep an eye out for the Seahawks tonight to maybe trade Russell Wilson and look for one of these quarterbacks tonight.
We were all like, what?
We were like, what?
I wasn't buying that. I was like, there's no way.
And Russ confirmed that actually did happen. And so, we heard the rumblings that Russ and the Seahawks weren't as copacetic, and him ending all of his interviews here on this show and everywhere else with "Go Hawks." Was just the tip of an iceberg, and man, there was a lot of ice bubbling beneath the surface, and I can't wait to ask Richard about that as well. Peyton Manning is on this program.
Hey.
Peyton Manning is on this program to promote not only his Manning cast coming up on ESPN2, but on NBC tonight, back-to-back episodes of Season 2, or I guess the sophomore season of Capital One's College Bowl, hosted by him and his older brother, Cooper, as they refer to him. And I can't wait to hear Peyton say Cooper. Susie and I, as you know, our youngest son is named Cooper, and sometimes we call him Cups or Cupper because we love the Mannings. And so Peyton will be on in the middle of this show. Courtland Sutton of the aforementioned Denver Broncos, he will be on this program coming up in hour number 3 in advance of that big Monday nighter. And then Brian Baumgartner, we love on this show, as well as his days of the office. He's got a new book called Seriously Good Chili Cookbook, 177 of the best recipes in the world. And Brian Baumgartner, big-time Atlanta sports fan, as well as a tight friend of Aaron Rodgers. He's on this program. So, lots going on. How about that? Let's start with this.
A lot of S going on.
Let's start with this. Long season. Marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
But man, did we get a lot of grief on NFL Game Day season kickoff, our season preview show, the NFL Game Day morning gang, all 6 of us, me, Mooch, Kurt, Irv, Cynthia Freeland, Rachel Bonetta, we all picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl. All of us. And Kurt and Rachel predicting last night's season opener was a preview of this year's Super Bowl with the Bills and the Rams. And I've got the Bills over the Bucks. And so on and so forth. And did we get a lot of grief? And on top of it, I said Josh Allen is this year's MVP. And I came on this show the next day after seeing all the crap on Twitter of, I guess you guys are all just falling in line. And I said on this show, sometimes it is simple. Don't make it complicated. Go with what you see and what you believe. And I said the Buffalo Bills check every box, from game-changing MVP quarterback to big-time playmakers to big-time offensive line to big-time defense to head coach that is still there to a team that has a chip on its shoulder based on the previous seasons falling short. You put it all together and you've got yourself a Super Bowl contender. And did the Bills go out last night and check every single box? They not only checked every single box, they checked it so hard the pen went through the paper and drew on the table the paper was resting on. It was 10-10 at half, and the reason why it was 10-10 at half is because a Josh Allen interception went out of the hands of Isaiah McKenzie and right into the hands of the Rams. And James Cook's first career carry wound up on the turf. That the Bills defense went back out and picked off Matthew Stafford to take the ball right back because the Bills defense is, as we say, no joke. And 200 of the 297 passing yards from Josh Allen split by Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis. The Bills defense sacked Matthew Stafford 7 times last night, hit him 15 times last night, and all 22 Twitter pointing out no blitzes from the Buffalo Bills defense last night. They just rushed him, and they got him. And they have got a defense that can scare people. And how about the first sack of the season coming from Von Miller as the Rams were attempting to retort the season opening drive by the Bills. And they got on the plus side of the field with a couple of first downs with their Super Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp making a catch and Tyler Higbee making a catch. And then Von Miller says, that's it. And ended that drive with a sack to give the Buffalo Bills a very nice start because Allen came out last night and hit people in the mouth. And the one thing that maybe gave anybody pause about the Bills entering last night's game to see what we needed to see was the fact that Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator and play caller, is now the play caller of the New York Giants. And maybe, just maybe, the New England Patriots aren't the only team in that division to lose their offensive coordinator and play caller and have an issue entering the season that we were all expecting to see play out in the season with a new play caller. But Ken Dorsey knows the offense and knows the quarterback. And, man, does he know how to call up plays, too, on that opening drive. We saw it all, including a 3rd and short on the plus side of the field. And what a play call that was to Gabe Davis. Slipped out wide open, touchdown, 26 yards, 7-0. They didn't settle for a field goal. They jammed it right down the throat of the Rams underneath the shadow of the freshly hung Super Bowl banner with The Rock cooking before the game.
Yep.
And the stadium cooking because it's 100 friggin' degrees here for the 10th straight day.
It was hot.
And so are the Bills. Because, again, I said this, I think, 2 years ago even. Josh Allen is coming for your souls. He doesn't just come with his arm and his legs. He's coming for your souls. And he's stiff-arming Nick Scott to the ground, throwing his ass out of the club. And he's stiff-arming. And once again, for the 20th time in his 62 career starts for the Bills, he led the Bills in rushing. And then he missed on only 5 passes and almost getting 300 yards, 297 yards. His passes are like the throwing version of a stiff arm because now he appears to have what all MVP quarterbacks have. Full command. He steps to the line and you think, uh-oh, he's got us. You think, uh-oh, I have no idea how he's going to get us. Arm or legs? Uh-oh, he's not going to be the one to make the mistake. Uh-oh, we better have our chin strapped and everything else girded because he's coming. And the Bills didn't punt at all. And they've got a kicker who can split the uprights. That's why I chose the Bills to win it all. That's why most people have chosen the Bills to win it all. Of course, we need to see it over and over and over again in a league where attrition will always land. But, man, a 21-point win in the home of the defending Super Bowl champs on the night that they have raised the banner, I looked it up. The NFL in 2004 started the tradition of having the defending Super Bowl champions host the opener with two exceptions. With two exceptions. In 2019, if you remember, they had the Bears and the Packers open up due to the fact that that was a milestone moment in that rivalry. The Patriots had their home opener on a Sunday night. They won by 30. The other time, for an exception, is when Baltimore had to go on the road to open their season in Denver because I guess there was some sort of a doubleheader in the Orioles had something to do with it or whatever. It was
the Orioles didn't want to change or move.
It was
the
really
date.
weird,
Yeah, it was
and
weird.
so
But they share a parking lot. That's why.
Right. The nest there where the Ravens and the Orioles share a spot. A complex. The Ravens had to go on the road to Denver, and Peyton Manning, our second-hour guest, just beat them like a drum by 22. Other than that, it is by far the worst home opening loss by a defending Super Bowl champ on the night that they have raised a banner. 21 points. And it didn't even appear to be that close.
Being in the building, it never felt like the Rams were in it. They had 3 turnovers in the first half, and they were lucky that it was tied at halftime. It felt like they should have been up a score maybe with that discrepancy, but it never felt close in the building. The Bills just dominated beginning to end.
What a way to start the season. And in the same way that we talked about pressure, and I'm like, I don't think that's a concern. First night out. You have what Josh Allen had to say last night? Because I said this guy is just going to roll off his back. Going to roll off his back. Any adversity. Why? And why not? Because he's got it. He's got the team. He's got the teammates. He's got the whole city in the palm of his hand because he's so cool as a cucumber. And he gets better every year, and he appears to be better now than we saw him the last time, and he was incredible in a playoff loss in Kansas City. There will be moments when it's pressure-packed, but I feel they're going to rise to the occasion more often than not. This was Allen last night when asked if, based on everybody picking them, or the consensus pick being them, if they needed to make a statement in front of the country in the Rams' house last night.
No, we needed to win a game. We needed to put our best foot forward, try to execute the way we know we can execute, and just try to win a game. That's all. 1-0 each week is our mindset, playoff caliber. That's what we're trying to do. That's what Coach McDermott preaches us. And that's what, our mindset and mentality is every time we step in our facility is what can we do to allow ourselves the opportunity to go 1-0 this week.
Next up is a Monday night home opener to kick off the doubleheader, by the way, that ends week 2 on ESPN against Tennessee. So Derrick Henry, who throws people out of the club in stiff arms professionally, and Josh Allen in the same field. Can't wait for that. And then there's Miami, and of course, there's one last thing I want to say about this with the AFC East, speaking on behalf of a fan base that resides there. Just when we got rid of Brady, finally, here comes Josh Allen sitting atop this division. Okay, I know you got Bill, and you trust, and you got Mac. And I know the Dolphins have Tua and everyone else, but that sense of inevitability that an opponent might feel when Josh Allen's behind center and shotgun or whatever, like, I'm getting that feeling like, Patriots won 11 in a row in the I they got a long way to go. I was already calling it a marathon just for this year, but I just get that feeling of inevitability because they're young and they're good. Just when you thought the division was up for grabs, the Bills coagulate and show up like they're showing up. Before we take a break, I do want to spend some time on the Rams. Here's a game you bury. You bury the tape. You bury the tape. You take the tape, you bury it. I don't know where you do it. You do it in Thousand Oaks. Maybe you find a spot just around the corner where they used to shoot MASH. You go right on that corner.
Chuck it off the pier.
I don't know what you do.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do. Or you go to the Rams house where they have that nice draft night. You take the tape, you throw it out. You throw it right out the door. And The good news is Cooper Kupp is amazing. And even with the problems protecting Matthew Stafford last night, Kupp had 10 catches for over 120 yards, and he had that toe tap in the back of the end zone. Nice. And he is a major, major problem for the defense that the Rams are facing. The problem is who's going to step up? Allen Robinson disappeared. Cam Akers didn't even play, and we'll talk about that. Hardly played. My issue is that offensive line up front. That's the issue with offensive line up front.
Like, Witt was in the building. Can he suit up real quick?
I mean, that was a problem. And, it's just one of those things where you're just going to have to work it out. Because the issue is, if the Bills are, best defense, and there might be the Super Bowl contender that we all believe them to be. But, the 49ers have a pass rush. They got one. Cardinals have J.J. Watt. You take a look at the Rams' schedule. This is the year they play the AFC West. I don't need to tell you who now resides there that can rush the passer. The Bucs come up on their schedule. Shaq Barrett et al. Part of the AFC West. Chandler Jones and Max Crosby. This is a problem. And clearly it's something that can be worked out, and it takes time, and offensive lines take time, and you're not looking at I don't know how you fix that. And the defense is just like, tip your cap, man. Josh Allen it may just be your MVP, and Diggs and Gabe Davis, look out. Look out. And they got others, and Dawson Knox. Isaiah McKenzie caught a touchdown after he had that bobble that caused to be the first interception of the season to wind up on Josh Allen's ledger. So I'm the Rams. I am monitoring Odell Beckham's knee. I'm glad he was in the building last night, part of the raising of the banner. Let's keep him close. Let's keep him on the speed dial. And Les Snead is smart enough to know what needs to be known. And you got to, unless you trust. And in Sean McVay, you trust. Because last night was a complete, total washout. Bury the tape. And find the cohesiveness up front. Because if you can't protect your quarterback who's coming off of some procedure on his arm, that's a problem. Certainly if he's going to continue those no-look passes. It's amazing. The no-look pass went right to Kupp last year when it mattered the most. Last night it went off the top. It was too high. Went off his hands. Interception. It's just a bad night all around. Bury the tape.
Timing will come.
I guess it's a long season.
Yeah,
it's not over. But if I had to guess, I will take the Bills, as that's more indicative of their play season long than the Rams. That's the way I'll take it.
Definitely.
How will Richard Sherman take it? How does Peyton Manning take it? We'll ask both of them, and then you at 844-204-RICH, number to dial. We'll take a break. First break here on the first day of this show in 2022. In which a regular season had been played. We're talking about it today. What's more likely to take you to your weekend, but taking us to break with Richard Sherman of Prime Video on the other side.
There are a lot of buttons over here.
Jalapulaviati.
Five Time.
Like I'm a clown and lose you.
I don't have everything ready.
So, Richard Sherman's about to join us. I also want to ask him about the 49ers decision to stick with Jimmy G as the backup and make sure he's cool with it, and make sure everyone else is cool with it, make sure Trey Lance is cool with it, and saying that, you know what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make sure that, it all works out. So, put it all together, and guess what? Week 1. 49ers at Bears. Can't wait for that one. Can't wait for that one. The Bills now go home on a mini bye and get ready for a home game. Just sit at home. Just chilling out. Go home. They got 11 days off.
Well, they were all here. I mean, there were so many Bills fans at the game last night.
Yeah, I heard that the Rams had to go silent snap.
It was, 60-40 maybe Rams to Bills, I think, is kind of accurate, but they did the L.A. thing, too. After Diggs scored that touchdown, it was adios for the Rams fans.
Did you get out of there, too?
Yeah.
Of course. You gotta beat the traffic.
Yeah, I beat the traffic, plus,
What time did you get home? 9 o'clock? 10 o'clock?
9:15.
Okay.
9:15.
Okay.
Long day. And it was hot.
I was about to say.
Very hot in the stadium.
That stadium is not built for 100-degree weather. It's just not.
No.
Because it is a remarkable stadium, and it is open-ended on both ends of the stadium, right around the end zone lines. So you get a marine layer breeze from the Pacific Ocean, which is, as the crows flies, just a few miles away. That's it. It's supposed to blow through. And so, like Super Sunday, it got cold in the stadium. It got low 50s. It could get cold. And then they put the canopy on top. That was like a lid on a boiling pot. 100 degrees out there.
Yeah, it was scorching, man.
But the Bills handled it with aplomb, to say the least. Man, what a performance. Back here on the Rich Eisen Show terrestrial radio network, along with our friends at YouTube page, youtube.com/Rich Eisen Show, where we're streaming for the last day before we migrate to the Roku channel on Monday. It's a streaming world, folks. Thursday Night Football is coming to a streamer. Prime Video, Amazon is taking over Thursday Night Football, and one of their new stars who is ready to roll, he is built for this, and he's part of the pregame, postgame, and halftime of Thursday Night Football, which comes your way on Prime Video to kick off Week 2 in just 6 nights from now between the Chargers and Chiefs in Kansas City. Is the perennial Pro Bowler from back in his day and Super Bowl champion Richard Sherman on the Rich Eisen Show, Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line. How you doing, Richard?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I'm another day, another beautiful opportunity. How are you?
I'm doing great. Congrats on this gig. I'm so happy for you. You are so made for this. You are so ready for it, and I can't wait to watch you and the rest of the crew have at it in Kansas City. That is such a big game, which we'll get to in a minute. But I would be remiss if I just didn't give you the floor and ask you what your takeaway from the Bills' beatdown of the Rams to kick the season off. What is that takeaway, Richard?
I thought early on, I mean, the Rams defense played well. I thought they created turnovers. Nick Scott was all over the place. Bobby Wagner had a sack. Freaking Aaron Donald had sacks. Like, they were making plays. Troy Hill with an interception. But I thought they just got worn down. I didn't think the offense gave them enough throughout the game. I don't think that offensive line is gonna stand up. I think they're gonna have to make an adjustment and bring somebody else in. I was jokingly saying they're going to call Witt, but it's not as much of a joke as people think it is. I mean, Noteboom looked a little overwhelmed at times, and he's gonna have a lot to deal with this season.
Yeah, it was a very difficult night for Stafford. The offensive line allowed 15 hits on their quarterback, 7 sacks, and as I mentioned to start the program, all 22 Twitter remarked that there was no blitzing by the Bills. They just went and rushed him, and they got to him, and they hit him. So you think the fix is Les Snead's got to be on the phone line today to find another offensive lineman or two?
R5. I mean, no question. I mean, I think if what they showed now nothing against Buffalo. Buffalo was the number one defense in football last year in terms of yards per game. But they have to go against the San Francisco 49ers defensive line twice, and they have monsters, and they have already struggled with them consistently. They have to go against them twice. They have to go against the AFC West twice. I mean, they have to go against the AFC West, and you got another Bosa coming to town. You got Chandler Jones. You got Max Crosby. You got Khalil Mack. The people that they're going to have to deal with this year, if they don't get that fixed, I mean, 15 hits is just the tip of the iceberg.
And then what did you make of the Bills offensively, Richard? It just seemed like the only issue could be possibly that Brian Daboll is gone, their play caller is gone, and that might leave the Bills adrift. But then we saw the first set of downs was a remarkable march down the field. Ken Dorsey appeared to be pushing all the right buttons, and what a button to push than Josh Allen. I mean, that's the way I took it. How difficult is it going to be to stop this offense this year, do you think, Richard?
It's going to be really difficult, and he took his time, and I think that's, you hear the Rams' remarks after the game talking about we thought they wouldn't be patient. We thought Josh Allen would be impatient and take shots, and he just took what the defense gave him. He didn't force anything. Hey, it's taken away. Check it down. That's 5. That's 8. Hey, it's taken away. I'll take it with my legs. And for the first half, it seemed like he made a conscious decision not to run it. And I think that was Ken Dorsey, and I think that was Josh Allen. I think they made a conscious decision to say, hey, let me show you guys, this guy's an MVP candidate with his arm. And then the beginning of the second half, I think it was the first drive or the second drive, they had 2 designed quarterback runs immediately. Like, it was just, they were so in tune and so in rhythm that it was like a game. It was like they were just scripting what they wanted to show and what they wanted to do and what they wanted people to see. It's like a movie. And if you're doing that in a game against the defending Super Bowl champs, like, oh, my goodness, this is going to be a fun season for them.
5-time All-Pro cornerback and Super Bowl champion and Prime Video's Thursday Night Footballs, Richard Sherman here on the Rich Eisen Show. So run down for me the team that can beat the Bills in the AFC. Is it the team that you're going to go see host the kickoff of Prime Video's Thursday Night Football and the Chiefs, because they have knocked the Bills off twice? Could it be the Bengals? Anyone else in the AFC West or anyone else that I'm missing? Walk me through that, Richard Sherman.
I think it's one of the 2 teams that we're going to see this upcoming Thursday. I think it's either the Chargers or the Chiefs. And unfortunately, the Chargers haven't lived up to the lofty expectations that everyone has had for them. But hopefully, this is the year they do. I think Justin Herbert primed to continue his great play. Obviously, then getting J.C. Jackson, we'll see if he's healthy for this first week, and hopefully he's healthy for that game. But Khalil Mack, bringing him into town, Sebastian Joseph Day to secure that run game, that was a huge weakness for him last year. I think they'll have a chance. Obviously, people are making a huge deal about the Kansas City Chiefs losing the Cheetah, which is obviously you'd lose an all-pro receiver. It's going to make a difference. But in the preseason, if that was any indication, they look like they're ready to weather that storm. Mahomes is still Mahomes. Andy Reid is still Andy Reid. Bieniemy is still Bieniemy, and they're still calling the game the same. You know, McCole Hardman is taking some of the stress off. Juju Smith-Schuster is doing some things. I think they're doing it by committee and in a way that it would have all been cheated to do this job, and they're doing it with 4 or 5 guys, but they're still getting it done.
All right, Richard Sherman, I want to ask you some of the burning questions going around the National Football League and get your 2 cents on it. And you have some unique insight on many of them, starting with Lamar Jackson representing himself in Baltimore. Today is deadline day that he set for his new contract, and if he doesn't get it, he will place things aside. And the conversation that has been going on is the reason why it has not been done is partially because Lamar is representing himself and needs to get representation to bring this thing home. What do you say about that, having somebody who has represented himself before?
I'd say that's cowardice and comfort from GMs. You know, GMs never want to have uncomfortable conversations. And so, you know, the relationships that GMs have with agents, you know, they can go have drinks, they can go meet at a bar, they can meet at the combine, they can have these buddy conversations. They can say things, both sides. You know, the agent is part of it too, is complicit. They can say things to each other that they never say in front of the player, either side. And when it's the player representing themselves, they can't. You can't say those things. You can't disrespect him. You can't say, hey, this guy, I mean, he's really terrible. He doesn't deserve this. He's not worth this, and we'll do this. You got to talk to him with a certain amount of respect and regard. And I think Lamar is just taking his life in his own hands, and as he should. Like, you have quarterback Kyler Murray just got $230 million. Like, okay, cool. So that's the floor, because Kyler Murray has not done anywhere near as much in this league as Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson has an MVP to his name. And so people saying, oh, him representing himself is just a way for them to try to buffer and push players away from doing their own deals. Because at the end of the day, the parameters of the deal are the parameters of the deal. The understanding of what his floor should look like is concrete. Like, it's understood. And so it's going to be unfortunate, you know, if Baltimore allows that to be the reason they don't sign him, because I think this deadline means he walks after the season. You know, they can franchise tag him, but it'd be tough.
Well, he is going to be franchise tagged. As a matter of fact, that announcement has come already through the Twitter account of Adam Schefter and others that he's going to play on the franchise tag, and he has turned down the offers. And so the conversation is going to be this, is that Lamar represented himself, and if he did not represent himself, he would be signed, sealed, and delivered. And you call that cowardice? That's what
that says more about the GMs and the cowardice of the GMs than it does about Lamar Jackson. Like, hey, a guy got a $230 million deal fully guaranteed, and he has no MVPs to his name. He's a great player. And if he's asking for that same deal, you're telling me an agent would have got it? He didn't get it for Kyler Murray. He didn't get it for Russell Wilson. Like, just because you have an agent doesn't mean you're going to get a good deal or a great deal. And just because you don't have an agent doesn't mean you're not. So it's just another excuse for people to make. You know, I mean, the guy should get the money he deserves. He's an MVP of this league, and he's the MVP within his rookie contract, which is incredible.
Thursday Night Football, Prime Video's Richard Sherman here on the Rich Eisen Show. And then 2 other burning questions involving your former teams. First up, let's talk the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo being retained to back up the guy who has supplanted him for a team that he has taken to a Super Bowl, or is quarterback of that Super Bowl team, and then almost was the quarterback of that Super Bowl team last year that could have been. Niners say it's workable, as does Jimmy G and Lance. What do you say with knowledge of that locker room and organization, Richard Sherman? Workable?
I think it's a fantastic move, and obviously you hear everything. I hate the anonymous sources, and that's the like torment of this industry, because I can literally make up anything and say, hey, a source told me such and such and such. Such. I don't have to defend it. I don't have to prove I don't have to prove anything. I can just make it up and call it fact. And I've been in that locker room, and I know Jimmy. I don't know Trey as well, so I can't speak to him, but I know who Jimmy is, and I know how the locker room sees him, and I know the respect level that they have for him. And I know the respect level that Kyle has for him. And there couldn't have been a better situation for him to be in under these circumstances. You know, he's still healing up from the arm. If he'd have went to another team, call it Cleveland or Seattle, and had to learn the system out during the first week of the season and struggles, who knows how well he would have played, because you got to learn the playbook, you got to learn the teammates, you got to learn the timing, et cetera, et cetera. He'd be setting himself up for a tough offseason next season, and potentially losing money. And in this situation, at worst, he sits behind them, and they have a competitive team. If Trey struggles supremely bad, I think Kyle would take a shot at putting Jimmy in and saying, hey, do it again. But if Trey stays healthy and they get to a Super Bowl and they have great success, then Jimmy walks off into the sunset, and he's still the most viable free agent target if Lamar Jackson isn't free. So I think it puts him in a great situation. It allows his arm to heal up, allows him to be healthy and ready to go next season for whoever he plays for and get himself another big deal.
Well, I guess you did touch upon the gray area of this is the extent of the Lance struggle that would cause Kyle Shanahan to hit the Jimmy Garoppolo or break the emergency glass on Jimmy Garoppolo in a way that could stunt Lance's growth, or there could be some sort of locker room conversation that would cause Shanahan to do that. Can you walk me through the possibilities and what that might look like, Richard?
I mean, it'd have to be something nuclear. And that locker room that's not one of those conversations where I would ever have that locker room would ever get to the point where they're having conversations that affect Kyle Shanahan's decision making. And that is a high character locker room and high character individuals. And Jimmy Garoppolo is a high character individual. He showed that throughout this entire process. He didn't say a word. He went about his business. He let the rumors swirl. He let people speculate. He just did his work, did whatever he has to do. Hey, they're going to trade me. Hey, I'm going to get my work off to the side. Not going to distract the team because I care about my teammates. And so I think it'd have to be something. It'd have to be a catastrophic collapse. It'd have to be really, really, really awful. I mean, it'd have to be 10 interceptions in 2 weeks kind of ordeal, I think, for him to really make that kind of decision. And I just don't foresee that happening. I mean, I just don't foresee that. You keep a nuclear option, you keep nuclear plans and emergency situations, for those kind of days. But I just don't foresee that happening. And they have too many weapons on offense. Kyle's too creative.
Last one for you, Richard Sherman, is your former teammate, Russell Wilson, now in Denver. And he confirmed yesterday to ESPN that the team in Seattle did, in fact, try to trade him at the 2018 draft for the first overall selection to Cleveland. And so I guess the question I have for you is, what gives? What was the relationship between Seattle, Carroll, and Russell Wilson, or in any way, shape, or form that has been bubbling beneath the surface for, like 5 years, it seems, Richard?
I have no idea, honestly. I don't have a ton of information about their relationship after I left because I was gone. For those 5 years that it was bubbling, I was gone. I was in San Francisco and then in Tampa. But while I was there, the relationship was fantastic. And Pete made sure of that. Pete went out of his way to make sure that Russell was comfortable in every situation and that the team made a way to make him comfortable. And so I think that's a little bit extra. Maybe they saw the writing on the wall just like everybody else. Like they had gotten rid of me, they have gotten rid of Earl, they had gotten rid of a lot of the foundational pieces to that organization. So to think he was going to get traded after that when they had already gotten rid of a lot of the foundational pieces isn't that far-fetched. They had already, they have to go in rebuilding mode at some point. So you got rid of one of the best defenses and all the All-Pros and future Hall of Famers. And if they would have got rid of him, it would have just been cleaning house and allowing them to start new. So I don't look too much into that. I believe it. I believe they had interest in Patrick Mahomes in that draft. And, I mean, it's all true.
Wow. Richard Sherman. here on the Rich Eisen Show, and we will see you, Richard. Thanks for the call. Greatly appreciate it. On Thursday night next week on Prime Video, when the Chargers face the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Chiefs are at Arizona this weekend, and the Chargers are next up. Right? They're probably taking the Rams logos up in the Rams house right now and putting the lightning bolts down on the field because the Chargers host the Raiders. And then the Chargers host the Raiders and turn around and play the Chiefs, and the Chiefs go to Arizona and turn around and come home and host the Chargers. What a big, short week turnaround for both right there. I mean, absolutely huge. What do you make of Richard also saying they need 5 new offensive line
I mean,
here in Los Angeles?
When you get 7 sacks with no blitzes, Rich, when you're only rushing 3 and 4 guys.
Damn.
I mean, it's an impressive performance by that Bills front line.
Fresh reminder, you can listen to the NFL on the NFL app, on the Odyssey app, on WestwoodOneSports.com, via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa, speaking of Amazon there, to open Westwood One Sports, sponsored by AutoZone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone. The Ravens have placed a statement out there for everyone to see based on the fact that Lamar Jackson's playing on the franchise tag. Could not come to an agreement. 844-204-RICH is the number to dial. We'll talk to you and anyone else who wants to talk to us, and hopefully that's a very large subset of America. That's 844-204-RICH, number to dial. We're back with more before Brian Baumgartner comes in studio and Peyton Manning calls in.
Mike Del Tufo doesn't have 2 outfits.
Oh, I screwed that up. Sorry.
Squad goals.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
Bills humbly accepted the I guess general kudos of everybody's Super Bowl picks, and then humbly beat down the Rams. And you heard Josh Allen say, well, it was just another game, right? So I guess you leave it up to the social media department to flex the muscles. The Buffalo Bills Instagram account was white hot to the touch after the game last night. This is my favorite one. Put it up there. There it is. Harry Styles with the Buffalo Bills logo.
Geez.
And the Rams logo on top of Chris Pine. And an L gets spat out in the direction of Chris Pine. And as we all know, apparently the spitting never happened.
Yeah, that's funny.
But the L just gets spat out anyway. Atop the Rams. That one right there made me the, as the kids might say, LOL.
That's funny. That's funny.
And I sent it to our friends at the Rich Eisen Show shop. And Mike Hoskins, our coordinating producer, diehard Bills fan, gladly accepted it and helped put it on the air.
Gladly.
So there's that. I mean, and the Bills making the fans making the Rams go silent snap count at home. Look, man, I meet some diehard Los Angeles fans out here, sports fans, and LA Rams fans out here. But at least you didn't sell your tickets last night, Chris, and you don't really, you're a Patriot guy. At least you and Sarah went.
Oh, yeah, we went.
I mean, all the LA sports fans who sold their tickets to everybody in Buffalo. I mean,
come on, it's opening night. It's a cool.
They raise a banner.
Yeah.
They put a team together.
It's a big
to
night.
Win it all.
It was cool. It was fun.
And they got
being there.
stars all over the lot. That's supposed to get you out of your homes.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. That people from Western New York are all over the place showing up. That's embarrassing. You got to go silent snap count as you raise a banner. Back here on the Rich Eisen Show, 844-204-RICH, number to dial.
Just like what is the route going to be for the parade, you think, though? Like
in Buffalo?
Yeah, they're going to like finish by Niagara
you
Falls.
Put the ziggy on
what's
them.
that going to be
Hey,
like?
look, you and Simmons and all the other massholes trying to put the ziggy on them. But guess what? The Bills are the class of the AFC East for sure.
They're the best team in the NFL.
They're the class,
Like, come on,
possibly of the AFC. Let's see what the West does.
Of all the teams that have played this year, absolutely.
I know, and of course, you got a Cowboy fan over there saying the varsity's playing Sunday night.
I think the Cowboys are in anywhere near the Bills league right now.
Who brought up the Cowboys?
You did by opening your mouth.
No, I did. I said nothing about the Cowboys. The Cowboys never even entered the chat.
You just entered the chat.
Proving my point that people are going to talk about Dallas no matter what. So you're
the one who says the varsity's playing Sunday night.
But I hadn't said it. I didn't say it. Well, this is today. Why are we bringing up old stuff? I've said like 5 words today. All right? And none of them were the Dallas Cowboys. Talking about the Bills and their dominance.
We need to see. Look, the Chiefs may have their number when it's all said and done. Maybe. Like if it's Buffalo versus Kansas City in a one and done in January, whole country's going to watch. I mean, that will shatter records for whatever round of the playoffs that appears in. Okay, and then we will see what happens. If the Chiefs can actually do it to them again and say we're the ones who stand in your way. And Chiefs fans are absolutely loving the fact that the Bills have everyone piling on. I don't think Stone Street's ever going to speak to me again. And, they're loving it. Let's see what they do in Arizona. If they go in and treat Arizona like the Rams treated Arizona last year, and then they'll show up on Thursday night and put their marker down that we've won this division 6 straight times. Okay, Chargers. You're so glad you got a 30-year-old Khalil Mack, and so glad you spent all that money on J.C. Jackson, who might not even play because he's hurt. I'm glad that you got Justin Herbert. We're the team that gave Justin Herbert his great start when he almost beat us in his first shot at us. Remember that? He comes out like he wasn't expecting to start, and he starts against the Chiefs and gave him a little scare. So, obviously pump the brakes on the parade route stuff. But for a team,
picked them to win. What do you mean?
I know I did, but I'm not sitting here saying I'm absolutely right. I'm saying you saw last night the reason why I picked them. That's the reason why I picked them, is because they can play like that in a setting like the one that was on display last night. They can do that. They can not only beat you, they can steal your souls. which is what championship teams do. Let's see how they follow it up over and over and over again. Let's see what happens when injuries strike. Let's see what happens when adversity hits in third and fourth quarters on the road. We'll see what happens. I'm not sitting here saying it's 20-0, but they certainly looked like a team that can beat anybody in front of them. And then we have our first fantasy questions of 2022. Where in the world was Cam Akers last night?
I don't know, man. Did McVay talk about that after the game? I didn't see anything.
Look, running back rooms are always fungible in many different ways. And, Darrell Henderson may have shown in training camp, preseason, what Cam Akers didn't. Obviously, Cam Akers is coming back from an Achilles injury, but he didn't look unusable in the playoffs last year. He looked quite the opposite.
He was out there.
I mean, when Matthew Stafford has 2 more rush yards than Cam Akers, it gives you a question.
3 touches. He had 3 touches.
And then Allen Robinson.
Oh, baby.
Sean Mitchell, Rich Eisen Show digital coordinating producer. He's a diehard Los Angeles sports fan. Was this said with a little bit of, bile? But he texted us on our text chain last night, a very outstanding text. Has Allen Robinson scrubbed the Rams from his social media yet? I gave him a little good one. That's a good line right there.
Pretty funny. He hasn't.
He has not? Have you checked on it?
I'm looking on it right now. Pro Bowl wide receiver for the L.A. Rams.
Let's just tip the cap to Bill's defense, right? That definitely hit the Rams in the mouth repeatedly last night.
But wouldn't you have doubled Cooper Kupp and then let Allen Robinson get maybe some more targets?
Look, man.
Kupp had 15 targets.
I haven't seen the film yet. I'm not an all-22
Robinson
guy.
had 2.
Robinson.
Huh?
Even look at Robinson yesterday.
He had 2.
I'm upset.
Targets.
You know why I'm upset, man. I'm just upset.
Because you started Allen Robinson over Gabe Davis?
Yeah, I forgot to switch out my lineup. I was just doing a lot. I was excited. The game started. And literally right before kickoff, I was like, oh, and I'm the commissioner. I could have changed it.
Oh,
I didn't want to do that, though.
No, you can't do that.
You can't do that,
Come on
man.
now.
But when did you notice at 5:21?
I noticed it literally as the ball was getting
so
kicked.
you could make a swap.
No,
there.
no, you can't do that.
You have to do the right thing
Can't do it.
sometimes. So
No, you don't. I'm
Can't do it.
Richard Nixon. You can do whatever you want when it's the commissioner.
No.
well, no, you can't.
You have scruples, sir.
I
Clearly,
do.
this man does not.
Clearly not.
Do whatever you want.
You can't do whatever you want. That's not how life works.
But it was kickoff. It's just like,
But I also
man,
don't
I
understand. It's just like, you've had 6 months to get ready for this game. Half a year. We talked about it all day, Jim. Jim, we talked about it yesterday.
I did not bench Gabe Davis. I'm very happy.
I didn't
either.
bench Gabe Davis. The computer had him on the bench. I didn't put him into the starting.
I got him in.
I'm stacked at wide receiver, though, so I'm good.
And I got him in the one league I really want to have him in, which is my poker league. And speaking of which, the Joe Latrulio fantasy league, where I was accused of being Reach Eisen, taking Josh Allen in the 4th round to go pair with Cooper Kupp. How am I looking right now?
Reach Eisen.
Reach Eisen that. Reach this. Reach my perineum, sir.
Hey, Rich, you're in first.
Wow. Yeah, of course, because I got Josh Allen and Cooper Kupp, and other teams haven't had anybody playing.
Is ridiculous.
Peyton Manning on the phone and Brian Baumgartner in studio when we come right back. Look at this book right here.
So you got 34 from Josh Allen and 32 from Cooper Kupp.
Looking good, don't you think? Nice start.
Oh, you also had the Rams defense for 7.
And so if anybody out there, you were following our draft, again, Joe Latrulio, the actor, invited us into his league, we found out who else is in it, John Hamm, Paul Rudd, just to name some who you might know of or heard of, where you drafted, you had 2 hours to choose a pick. And the reason for that is the draft is there was no called draft. You just, wherever you were, you picked whenever you could pay attention to picking. You had 2 hours to pick before an auto pick would hit. And then that's your team, top to bottom, your entire bench. There's no waiver wires. There's no cuts. If somebody gets hurt, they're on your team. And then the entire year, I did not know this. It's not head to head. It's just it's just a stat compiler. Whoever has the most points of the entire team.
That's great.
And then your bench only counts if somebody on your bench has more points than whoever's quote unquote starting. So you have the top quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, a flex, and a defense. No kickers.
No kicker. Love that.
So I didn't know it's this whole season-long stat compiler. Who has Cam Akers? Not me.
Oh, gosh.
Damn. People already thinking season's over for the Rams and my fantasy team. Brian Baumgartner in studio next.
Ready to roll on the Rich Eisen Show.
I really appreciate that, Mikey.
Point.
And only the Rich Eisen Show.
Stafford takes, fires one down the middle. This one is intercepted. Picked off by Boogie Basher for the Bills.
Live from the Rich Eisen Show studio in Los Angeles.
I love Matthew Stafford. There was a couple unfortunate balls that get tipped up, but we're going to keep riding.
The Rich Eisen Show. Earlier on the show, 5-time Pro Bowl defensive back Richard Sherman. Coming up, actor and author Brian Baumgartner. Pro Football Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. Broncos wide receiver Courtland Sutton. And now, it's Rich Eisen.
Yes, hour number 2 of the Rich Eisen Show here on the day after the NFL season kicks off in Los Angeles, California. Also home to Big Ten football. Who knew? We're here in Los Angeles getting ready for a terrific hour number 2. Peyton Manning's calling into this program in 20 minutes to talk about his College Bowl program that he's hosting with his brother Cupper. And, of course, we'll hit him on what happened here last night in Los Angeles, California. But we have an in-studio guest to kick us off here in hour number 2. If you missed Richard Sherman in hour 1, just check him out on our YouTube stream, youtube.com/Rich Eisen Show. There's a new book out. Anybody who wants chili, and who doesn't, Seriously Good Chili Cookbook, 177 of the best recipes in the world. The man who authors this and is now also the host of a new podcast, Off the Beat podcast, a terrific player of the game of golf. I'm not done introducing you. A fan of the National Football League, and, of course, he's repping the Green Bay Packers here today.
Yes, sir.
From back of the day on The Office, Brian Baumgartner. Good to see you, bud.
Great to see you. Thank you for having me on.
Seriously good.
It's seriously good. It's seriously. Get the pun, the play on words there. It's not humorous. It's serious.
It's seriously good. Oh, I love it. The Seriously Good Chili Cookbook, 177 of the best recipes in the world. I can kind of figure what gave you the idea to do this, but I'll ask you anyway. Go for it, Brian.
Yeah, so obviously there's a scene from The Office that has become only more and more famous since the show ended. And I never made chili before. This is not something I'm from the South. I enjoy chili. And one day it was football season. I made chili for some friends, and I thought, well, I'll take a picture, and maybe people will think this is fun. People went bananas. And I started getting into it, started making it more and more. And then I visited last year the World Championship Chili Cook-Off in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm going again in 2 weeks. It was insane. Hundreds of people cooking chili, competing, and they're all award winners from their sectionals and their regions. They're the top of the line. Of course. And I got a bunch of their recipes, my own recipes, some fans, some celebrity chefs, some regular chefs. I don't know. And we thought, well, hopefully we can get 100. That was our goal. There ended up being 177.
That's what I was asking you. Where did that number come from?
It came from that's how many we thought were worth being in the book. Yeah, that's as simple as that.
So is there a 178th recipe, or just like you call somebody like, did you make the cut?
Nah, that one didn't make the cut.
Bring your chili playbook. Yeah. You didn't make the cut. Oh man, that is amazing. You know, and it's amazing how the world works, Brian, too. Because I mean. For this show, you see our logo is me running in a suit, and I never thought in a million years I would ever do anything where the logo is me running, A, or B, in a suit, but that's what I did at the Combine one time when I just was bored sitting next to Terrell Davis at a Combine, and I asked him how fast he could run the 40, and he said, right now, and I was dressed in my suit getting ready to do NFL Network. He laughed at me, I cursed at him, and I ran, and I had no idea they would capture it on TV, and then they ran it on TV, and now it's become such a thing where, thank goodness, I have a show with a logo that like that. Chili, just for you, is now, I mean, because of that scene in The Office. Yes. Can you walk me through the genesis of that scene in The Office, Brian, with the chili?
I thought it was funny, but I never imagined that it would catch on like it did. I mean, I had no idea as we were filming it, end of the day, me alone, that it would ever end up being something that I would be talking about 12 years later with you and writing a book. And I mean, it's totally crazy. My biggest memory from that day was, one take. Rich, of course. I'm a professional, so yes.
Because that would be hell of a cleanup to say, let's do it again.
That's right. And I came like kind of the set decorator guy kind of like half sweating to me under his breath, like not wanting anyone else to hear, but like, Brian, we only have 3 carpets. Like, we got to get this done. Like, don't screw this up. And so there was that. There were multiple wardrobe, outfits for me to change into, but I don't think anyone understood how difficult a task it would be to clean me. Like my physical body, like my hands were stained, like that kind of brownie reddy color. Yes, and so I was standing. They had playback capabilities on some days when we were doing complicated things, and I was standing at the monitor behind the director, and Greg Daniels, our producer, was there. Everybody is there. Yeah. Dripping off of me. I mean, just chili dripping off of me, and they're trying to peel my coat off and just going, please say you got it. Please say you got it. Please say we're good. Please say we're good. And that night, Angela Kinsey, who I know is a friend of yours, Oscar Nunez, and I had a dinner planned at Mastro's in Beverly. We would do accountants' dinners.
Okay.
And we had a dinner plan pre-existing there. Oscar, because he's a moron, always orders the giant seafood tower that nobody eats. I mean, that's the par for the course. Nobody eats it, but like shrimp and legs, all this stuff. For 10. And it's the 3 of us, and one of them is Angela Kinsey. And we're sitting there, and and I pick up a shrimp or whatever because you eat with your hands. These things. This is even in polite society. And I pick it up, and all I smell is chili. Just chili all over. The night was ruined. I think I just started drinking and let it go.
But when they brought out the container, and the actual chili was in it, and it was go time. What was going through your head, Brian?
Well, at the time, well, don't screw it up.
Right.
I mean, really
heavy. I mean, it was heavy, and
incredibly heavy.
Right?
Should I share the secret?
Please. Go for it, Brian. Go.
I don't know that I've shared this before.
But I love when guests say such a thing.
Okay,
So go
I
ahead.
know. So the bottom half was styrofoam. And it was genius because it made it top heavy. So easy. Because they were like, we did all these tests. Yeah. We filled it with chili. And there's no way for this to flip out. Like you would have to hoist it to get it out. Right. So they were like, we put in styrofoam on the bottom, then a bunch of chili, obviously, a lot on top, but it made it top heavy and I was able to spill it. I don't think I have ever shared that before. Exclusive on the Rich Eisen show. I don't think I've shared that before, but yes, that was the truth.
And was it scripted to use documents and other papers to try and scoop it up as well, or that was your ad-libbing right there,
I
Brian?
I only thought about this last week because people always ask us how much of the show is improvised. That scene became improvised once I was on the floor. Yes, and I think I may be wrong grabbing the file thing to try to scoop it back in. I think that was me, and if not, I'm going to take credit for it. So there you go. Yeah,
I feel like I'm on an episode of your Office Deep Dive podcast right now, man. I mean, like we're going deep dive, and again, it's the genesis of the seriously good chili cookbook. Oh, it's not it's kind of like the old Sky Dome in Toronto. It's Sky Dome, not the Sky Dome. So
yes, or like NFL Network, not the NFL Network.
Right.
Look at me.
Look at you. Seriously good chili cookbook, 177 of the best recipes in the world, right here with New York Times best-selling author Brian Baumgartner on the Rich Eisen Show. I'm looked through. I did not see Aaron Rodgers' ayahuasca chili recipe, Brian. I didn't see any of that. Did he not provide for you?
He did. No, there is not a recipe from him in there. There is not. There's not. But many others. Oscar Nunez wrote the foreword. Actually,
well, there's Omaha Prime Chili recipe. That is not a Peyton Manning. That is not. But I love it. You got and they're the pictures and the people who have provided it.
We told stories in there, both about the show and about chili that I think are really fun for people. And that's the thing is people think of like how chili recipe. It's either spicy or it's not. Yeah. No, it's crazy. Like white chili, green chili verde, meat, beans, no beans. It's an amazing collection. And I have started making recipes from the book that I've never made before. Made a chicken, white bean, a white chili a couple of weeks ago. Absolutely delicious, unlike anything I'd ever made. And so I'm so thankful to everyone who contributed, sent in recipes to the book. It was it was a lot of fun.
It's neat, and I'm just like thumbing through it. It's just fun. The layout is great. The photographs are obviously, the finished products are on the right, and then on the left is the recipes, and then good to know info. The 4th, did you guys know this? The 4th Thursday in February is National Chili Day.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Who knew that?
I
just learned that on the braised short rib and chorizo chili page.
That sounds
Cook time 2 hours 45 minutes, like a taut baseball game.
I love
2 hours
chorizo.
45.
I am salivating.
Make 6 servings, so we could do the whole studio that way. Oh, here's the white chicken chili. Is that the one that you referred to?
It's not, but there's a variety. Okay. Yeah,
fantastic. So the Packers, in all honesty,
yes. We got my shirt.
I know, 13 wins seasons in a row.
Yes.
3 of them. And now Rodgers is without Devontae Adams, and thus everybody's like, forget it. It's the Vikings division.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on that subject matter, Brian?
I mean, look, I heard your good old friend Dan Patrick yesterday actually picked the Packers to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look, there's a couple of things. One, the last 3 years, you probably know this better than me, that Devontae Adams hasn't played. They haven't lost a game.
That was last year. They handed the Cardinals their first loss of the season a game in which Devontae Adams
did not play.
Correct.
Here, I think with all due respect to the Bills and Saints and some others.
You are aware that you're now allowed to completely disrespect them because you gave the caveat of with all due respect.
Correct. I think the Packers may have the best defense in football. And I think they're going to win.
That's true.
But they're going to win differently this year. And they don't have to put up 31 to win this year, I don't think. I expect a similar season to how it's been the last 3 years.
Which is a highly successful 13-win campaign with a top seed for...
Just stop. 13 wins and being near or at the top of the NFC. And this is the year defense wins championships.
Which would be, as you point out, a completely different way...
way of winning.
Of winning.
For them.
You know, right. And when you do talk to your friend Aaron, do you notice a more calm, cool, just chill dude? Because he says like he's got, you know, he's connected, he's in connection with himself, his chi, his tea, his whatever he's drinking.
Yes.
You know, I mean, you notice that?
He seems calm. I didn't see him toward the end of the summer. I saw him in Tahoe, obviously, at the American Century. He seems very happy, content, feels good, and you know, hopefully we start out. Hopefully the year starts a little better than last year. The game against the Saints.
Well, I mean, they got the Vikings up first. I mean, right out of the gate. That's
Minnesota. That's big.
That is big.
Yeah, we'll see.
Michael Irvin picked Kirk Cousins to be the MVP of the season.
Yeah, well, that tells you something about Michael Irvin.
I don't know what's in his chili. Before I let you go, what's the Off the Beat pod? What's the pod here?
So you mentioned before the Office Deep Dive, where I talked to my old friends from the Office about the show and why it's now the most watched show in television, bigger than it was when we were on. And I just love doing it. I just love talking to people, and you know. Spoiler alert, there's a finite people to talk to who worked on The Office. Like that number ends, and I wanted to keep going. And so I brought in other friends that I'd worked with on other shows, and now people that I'm meeting for the first time and really talking about. A director I worked with once said to me that great comedy, and to me, moments in your life, happen off of the beat. Off the expected rhythm of how you think life is going to go. And so this podcast is really examining from people those moments that help shape them and where they ended up. So from Eric Dickerson to Paul Walter Hauser, who is going to be on the podcast soon.
He's been in here.
Yeah,
he's been in that show.
Yeah,
okay.
And I'm having so much fun doing it. It's been a blast. Busy Phillips, I just. Is going to be coming up in a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's been great, and I love it. So if that kind of thing interests you, definitely check it out.
Well, I mean, I don't want you to give too many away, but was the life-altering moment for Eric Dickerson getting the free car at SMU? Was that
we discussed it?
I bet.
We discussed, and that's where Hail to the Red and the Blue, the Mustangs of SMU. That's my alma mater as well.
We have Courtland Sutton coming on in hour number 3 of the Denver Broncos.
I'll tell you a quick story because this is Rob Riggle. I've known Rob forever. He was on an episode of The Office, and we play quite a bit of golf together, and he was a Marine.
Yes.
And I knew he was a Marine, and I know now he's a comedian. And I don't know, we never had this conversation. I figured, he did his service, and then he left and became a comedian and actor. He was a Marine for 23 years.
Yes, he was. Right.
And his time was up. His commanding officer said, "I want you to stay." And he said, "No." And he said, "Why?" He said, "I'm going to go be a comedian." Guy laughs at him. He's like, "What can we do to get you to stay?" And Rob, in this moment, says, I guess transfer me to L.A. or New York. The next day, he had his papers to New York. He was a Marine by day, went to comedy clubs, and took classes at night.
He's amazing.
And started his career. I mean, that story alone, like how he was transformed and how that is a part of who he is just awesome. So things like that.
If you need a guest, I'm happy to do that. I got so many stories about how I try to get started in this business and doors slammed in my faces and all sorts of things like that.
You're on.
I'd be more than happy to reciprocate. I mean, you've been so kind to come on this show. Seriously Good Chili Cookbook, 177 all-time of the best recipes in the world. Check it all out here from Brian Baumgartner. You're welcome here anytime, sir. Thanks for coming on. You got it.
All right, we'll golf soon.
Let's do it. That's Brian Baumgartner, everybody. I follow him on Twitter. You should as well. When we come back, the great Peyton Manning right here on The Rich Eisen Show.
For the love of God, cherish it.
We're here in Kansas City in support of the Big Slick Charity Weekend.
Thank you for doing this. This is amazing that you brought your whole show here. Whole show is here in Kansas City in support of Big Slick.
I want to describe for the radio audience, or would you care to, Jake Tapper, what is on your feet?
Eagles Super Bowl commemorative sneakers with big screaming eagles. I'm not really sure what the texture of the material is.
Okay.
I have a more subtle reference to my team. This is the silver of the silver and black Oakland Raiders.
Gene Lamont, longtime baseball man.
Sweet, sweet, sweet Gene Lamont made the sorry mistake of standing in front of us. The name Lamont is so fun to scream. Hey, Lamont! See? It just rolls. And he'd go, this is Bush League, Lamont! When he used to come out, we used to sing like the Death Star March, like the Darth Vader. We'd go, Gene Lamont, Gene Lamont. Oh, Gene Lamont, Gene Lamont, Gene Lamont.
I know how seriously you take your Kansas City food.
Yeah.
He's sending me videos all the time, different stuff to try, and
the text exchange between me and him and some of his other offensive linemen is hilarious. Like, I texted Mitchell Schwartz in the middle of the night about a brisket. Like, what is going on?
You responded. For whatever reason, I was up at that exact time.
Weirdly, athletes like Pitch Perfect a lot.
I'm not kidding.
I know Bill Belichick knows all the songs. He's always singing the songs. Yeah.
Now, Brett, when you saw that we had the 2015 World Series
I'm a
trophy
big fan of that one, but
I know.
Where's that other one that the old guy?
The 1985 one. We will replace the 2015 one with the 1985
look at
one.
this.
Oh, look at that.
Just for you.
Just the best.
My dad had some tickets to Game 7, but had given them away. So I didn't get to go to Game 7, and instead I had to work at a grocery store. I'd come up, I'd say, what happened? He goes, Daryl Motley just hit a home run. Go rearrange the milk.
Paul Ruddenmore, that was back in the day, 5 summers ago. It was great with Brian Baumgartner, who just left our studio. Back here on the Rich Eisen Show, 844-204-RICH, number to dial. Our terrestrial radio audience just returned with Odyssey, and again, our YouTube stream, youtube.com/Rich Eisen Show. This is the last day for that. We're migrating to the Roku channel on Monday, free to stream on all Roku devices, Samsung smart TVs, Fire TV, and the app, which is can be downloaded to any mobile device, and then the RokuChannel.com. We're free, by the way. Just want to let you know that. Love this guy, and I wouldn't say that just because he's on hold hearing me introduce him. Pro Football Hall of Famer. The Monday nights that the Mannings have put on for us last year, my kids dig it. I love it. I just love when Eli and Peyton do their thing on Monday Night Football. Can't wait to see what they're doing for this year, but kicking off with back-to-back episodes tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern on NBC, the sophomore season of the Capital One College Bowl, hosted by Peyton and Cooper Manning. And joining us on the Rich Eisen Show, Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line is none other than Pro Football Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. How you doing, brother?
Hey, Rich, doing well. Thanks for having me, pal.
You anytime. Congrats on everything going on with you. What is life like for you? I mean, are you taking pitches and you're you're check marking stuff on Omaha Productions and then getting ready to watch football. Seriously, I mean, how do you spend your day, Peyton? What's going on with you?
Believe it or not, I actually do say no to some things. Eli says nobody believes that.
Yeah.
He's like, that's not true, but I actually do. I'm excited football is here. Looking forward to Tennessee Vols hopefully having a good season. The Broncos and Colts getting started on Sunday and Monday, and last night's game was awesome. I'm a youth coach on my son's sixth grade football team, so we're playing Saturday morning. So football is here, which is good. So I'm busy, but kind of busy on my own terms. And this College Bowl show, we filmed it in the summer in Atlanta for a week. It was a great week with Cooper. You know, Rich, you and I have talked about it many a time out at the Pro Bowl. It was always a goal of mine to be a game show host. And to finally check that box has been big. And then, I get to work with Cooper in College Bowl. I get to work with my brother Eli for Monday Night Football. You know, I enjoy keeping them employed. So that's kind of what I've been up to.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I was born, put on the planet to give away cash and prizes, but now you're doing that as well. What game shows did you watch growing up, Peyton? Which ones did you watch growing up?
Probably all the same ones you did.
Price is Right?
$25,000 Pyramid.
$25,000.
Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy. You know, I was big into the soap operas. I was watching, Days of Our Lives. I was also watching Dynasty in Dallas with my mom at night. So probably a weird kid. But, the College Bowl is a little bit different. I mean, Rich, the one thing that hooked me about this was that the grand prize, like you said, the prizes they're playing for are college scholarships. I'm a big believer in scholarships. Been a big part of my giving at my alma mater at some HBCUs. We just named the Demarius Thomas Scholarship at Georgia Tech in his honor to someone from his hometown. We started the Mara Mant Scholarship.
Good for you.
Of course, you were part of and know Mara. So it's been a great way to pay it forward, to give someone else an opportunity, but also to pay tribute to someone. So the College Bowl aspect, that's kind of what intrigued me. These kids are competing. They're playing hard. Cooper and I are trying to stay out of the way, but they're playing for life-changing scholarships, which can pay off student debt, send them to grad school, help their younger brother go to college. So that was the coolest part about it.
Yeah, and Columbia University trying to hold on to their back to defend the title, Peyton.
That's exactly right.
Back to defend.
It was better this year, Rich. We had 16 teams.
Yep.
We had a live audience. Last year didn't have that due to COVID. Coop. Open mic into the audience. That's where he thrives with an open mic in front of a crowd. We had bands. We had mascots. So it was just a better overall show. I thought it was more fun to do because there were no COVID restrictions. And so it starts tonight, and hopefully people will enjoy it.
And I love it behind the breaking down the numbers behind the matchups. The man with the second most famous khakis to Jim Harbaugh, Steve Kornacki. You got him going on there, man. I mean, he's a blast. Guy's.
We brought Steve in from some analysis, whether it's politics or College Bowl. Steve's always there.
He gets after it.
He was huge. I mean, Rich, for me, I'm not going to lie, Cooper just sort of like, wings everything, right? He chimes in, there's no filter. He knows it's not live or editing. For me, I literally had an hour pronunciation meeting every morning. I'm like, I don't know what this word means, but here's how I want it spelled in my monitor. In my Tennessee phonetics, this woman didn't know how to handle it. I'm like, SUH-TUH-. She's like, that's not how I normally do it. I'm like, well, that's how we have to do it today because I don't know how to pronounce it.
You like that, TJ? That's great. Oh man, Peyton Manning here on the Rich Eisen show. All right, let's jump into the football if you don't mind. What was your impression of the season opener last night, Peyton?
Whew. Rams looked great. Wow, they hitting on all cylinders.
No, I know.
0 Super Bowl hangover for them. It was surprising to me. I mean, I thought, Buffalo was good. I didn't know they were going to be that good going into that place. Look, I played the Patriots on a raise the banner, show the highlights from last year game, and it's tough. I mean, it's always tough playing in New England, but I mean, the team, it's not like they're still thinking about last year. They're fired up. The crowd's into it. So for the Bills to go in there and do that to the Rams, real credit to them. Josh Allen was a freak. Vaughn was a freak. Diggs was a freak. And look out, AFC, because Buffalo's for real.
Well, I mean, what about Allen's game might be improved to me is it just, I don't know. It seems that whatever you might throw at him or whatever the Rams were particularly going to throw to him, he handles it. He might even just run over it, run through it. And also he seems to maybe neck up be more improved. I know it's just 4 quarters, but I'm wondering what your keen eye and quarterbacking saw out of Allen last night that we might see just a whole different beast, because that's what he is, Peyton.
No, I agree. You can tell he's worked hard this offseason. Look, he's motivated. I mean, that's an angry team, right? They are angry and frustrated after losing that playoff game to the Chiefs in the fashion that they did. So I like an angry team, right? I don't want a team comfortable and happy. And I thought Josh's decision-making was just quick last night, whether it was to get the ball out of his hand or to tuck it and run it, right? I mean, he's so athletic. He can hold the ball in the pocket for a long time, but for him to make those quick decisions, a couple times down the red zone, it wasn't there, boom, take off and run, right? Scrambles out, boom, quick throw down to Diggs down the sideline. So, even though he's athletic and can run, you still want your quarterback making quick decisions, whether it's to get the ball out of his hands or to turn and run, and you could see that evident last night.
And what about a second-year leap for Joe Burrow? I'm fascinated by him and the Bengals because so many people, Peyton, overlook what we could expect from Cincinnati in year 2 because they're the Bengals. But, I mean, you could have said that about the Bills because of all the years of their troubles, but they're now the Bills. It's a different story, right? So what do you think of Burrow and having been to the Super Bowl before, as you know, and what he could take out of that and come in with maybe even more improved in year 2?
Yeah, I think the Bengals are here to stay. I don't think this is a one-year deal, and we'll hear from the Bengals in 20 years. As long as Burrow's back there, I mean, they are going to be in every game. He's angry. He's motivated. Joe's not the kind of guy that's happy with going to the Super Bowl, right, and getting beat, and that's just not how he's wired. So I like him angry and motivated, which is good for Cincinnati. That division is going through a lot of change, as you know. So, the days of, Pittsburgh and Baltimore being just a 2-man race in that division is just not the case anymore. I mean, both those teams will always be in it, but Cincinnati has made their statement, and the division is on notice. And I can relate to that. Being with the Colts, Rich, for years, the Colts were kind of a circled win in the old AFC East, right? I mean, Jim Harbaugh had some great years there. That was different, but for a while, when the Bills and the Dolphins were coming to play Indianapolis, Marino and Kelly weren't exactly sweating, okay? It was a circled win, and the goal is not to become a circled win, right? And in 1999, we beat Buffalo in the opening game, and everybody kind of said, wait a minute, maybe the Colts aren't the same old Colts, or the Bengals aren't the same old Bengals anymore, and that's because of Burrow, and as long as he's there, they're going to have a chance.
Peyton Manning, Pro Football Hall of Famer, Capital One College Bowl kicks off its sophomore season. In television terms, that's year 2. Back-to-back episodes tonight at 8 Eastern on NBC. A few more minutes left with the Pro Football Hall of Famer. Matt Ryan and your old Diggs, how is that going to change fortunes, do you think, for the Colts? You're already hearing Michael Pittman say, you better be in spots now, where last year we weren't talking about that because Matt likes it a certain way. You're the king of liking it a certain way, certainly in that building, in that town. What do you think about Ryan in Indianapolis, Peyton?
Yeah, I'm pulling hard for him. He reached out to me kind of during the off season and asked me a few questions about Indianapolis, and immediately I just felt like, boy, this would be a great marriage. Great for Matt in kind of a second chapter for him as Atlanta's kind of rebuilding, and just what Frank Reich has needed. Look, the Colts have been searching since Andrew Luck retired to try to find some stability at quarterback, and it'd be nice to have the same quarterback for a couple of years in a row and not just kind of a 1-year transition plan. And I think Matt is hungry. I think Matt still has things that he feels like he needs to prove. I don't really see that. I think Matt has done it all. But obviously he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but still he's had an incredible career, but he's wired differently also, and that he's motivated. And I've heard Reggie Wayne say that, Matt is holding those receivers accountable, wants those guys in the right place because he's going to get the ball to them. And when you bring a quarterback in like Matt or Russell Wilson to Denver, wide receivers, it changes their fortunes, right? They are going to get the ball on the backside of a play that they haven't gotten it in 3 years because everybody is live. All 5 receivers are live every single play. And that's what a good quarterback can do. He keeps those guys involved. And so they're going to run hard for him. They're going to play hard for him, make catches across the middle. So I'll be pulling hard for Matt and the Colts this year.
And what advice do you have for Russell Wilson? I mean, talk about no chill by the NFL schedule makers game 1 in his new spot. I mean, you had like 7 weeks, right, before you had to go back, right, to Indianapolis?
I thought that was a little dirty by the commission and the league and the schedulers. I mean, can he play a game in his current uniform?
Right.
Like in Houston before he has to go play,
for instance,
in the place where he played for 10 years. I mean, seriously, I could see him going to the wrong locker room, the wrong sideline, because Russell is calm and cool, and you hear him say, it's not going to be any different, and I'm going to be in control, and maybe he will, but there's going to be a lot of emotions. And look, he's never played there as an opponent. He's never dealt with the crowd noise there. So, but the NFL is smart, right? It's going to be must-see TV, and hopefully a couple people will watch my brother make fun of me as we're talking about the game on Monday night. But I see Russell playing well, Rich. I really do. I see him being calm and cool in the moment, and look, might have a 3-and-out to start. Could be some butterflies they haven't played, but I see them eventually kind of getting in a rhythm. At the same time, look, Seattle, I love Pete Carroll, right? I mean, somebody says they're rebuilding. Pete Carroll says, no, absolutely not. We are rolling. So I think Pete will have that group fired up. And so from that standpoint, it'll be a good game.
So last one to bounce off you, Peyton Manning, before we send you into your College Bowl Friday. Look, you didn't, I'm sure, want anybody talking for you when the media was wondering if it's your last season. So I know I tread lightly when I ask you to comment on Tom Brady here. But his comment where he's like, I'm 45 with a lot of ish going on, certainly gave me pause to think like, okay, he loves the sport. He can't quit it for the obvious reasons, right? But just maybe this is his last year. I'm wondering what you took out of that comment and thoughts on this subject matter, Peyton.
Yeah, it certainly should probably give people pause to kind of just think about it, and everybody's going to try to analyze what it means. I haven't spoken to Tom, much during training camp. I keep in touch with Clyde Christensen, his quarterback coach. He and I don't go there as far as, hey, tell me what's going on with Tom. I just kind of talk football with him and, talk about each other's families. So I think only Tom, like you said, can speak for himself. He sent me a picture when they played in Indianapolis of Lucas Oil Stadium, and he and I have laughed through the years. I mean, he's convinced the Colts used to pipe in crowd noise, and I was behind it. I was the DJ on the crowd noise. Of course, Deflategate's one of his favorite topics with the Colts, and he hates the Colts equipment managers, so we laugh about that.
What's the photograph he sent you? What's the picture he sent you? What do you of a speaker?
He sent a picture of Lucas Oil Stadium and just said, "What the heck am I doing here?" And I kind of took it as, like, I'm back in this place that I don't like very much. But, it probably is a little bit. Even Tom is probably amazed and surprised at himself that at this age he's still playing a preseason game in Indianapolis. And so I just kind of sent a ha-ha text back and didn't try to overanalyze it. But, look, if it is going to be his last year, I hope he does kind of slow down and enjoy the journey, right? And, he could have 4 more last years, but just to kind of hurry through it and kind of get through the season and not think about it that's not the right approach. And so if you start seeing him reminiscing a little bit or getting a little bit sentimental on certain situations, then that's a good thing, I think. He deserves it. But, I don't see him coming out and saying, this is my last year, and doing the video tributes and bringing the rocking chair like they did for Kareem out. I don't see him going that approach. But, I'm sure it's on his mind. And, from that standpoint, that's probably a good thing.
I can't wait to. How many are you and your brother doing this year? Are you doing the full slate, or you're going to take some time off, or what are you doing?
We're doing 10 games.
Okay.
Look, I don't want to see Eli that much, right? But to have to see him every Monday night, no good. So just doing 10, kind of spread out throughout the season. Got some good games, got some good rivalries, got some great guests again. We're I'm going to announce these guests here in a couple of days for the first week, and we'll have some repeat guests. Condoleezza Rice, Snoop Dogg. Absolute no-brainers. But a couple of people passed last year, so we've kind of reached back out to them to see if they'll maybe come back and join us. And the number one criteria, Rich, is they have to love football, right? That's the thing. And whether they're in politics, sports, or acting or whatnot, they have to love football. And I like hanging around people that love football as much as I do.
Well, I told you this, Peyton, and I'll say it again. And you're a natural at it, but and you have the unfortunate aspect of this construct. You're in the time zone of the dinner hour. Eli can have his dinner before the game. You got to go off camera. I don't know how many times they've been sneaking you, taking a big old bite of a wing, and you almost take your hand off with you. You can avoid it, is what I'm saying, Peyton.
Look, I tried. Eli, I think, has threatened this cameraman. He's like, if you don't follow him eating into the bathroom, then you're fired. You're out. So they find me. This place I'm in has got some space now.
Right.
They find me, and it's all Eli. So. I'll work on it.
Seriously, I hate to say it, but you are better than that, Peyton. You can avoid it. You can avoid it. But I'm out there watching. So are my kids. So is America. And look forward to Capital One College Bowl tonight. Back-to-back episodes at 8 Eastern Time with you and Cupper. And I cherish the times you call in. Thanks for doing it, Peyton. You're the man.
Hey, Rich. Thanks for having me, pal. See you soon.
Anytime. That's Peyton Manning, the one and only, right here on the Rich Eisen Show. There you go.
That was great.
He's better than that. I just told Peyton Manning you're better than that.
That's great.
Peyton Manning's the man.
There you go.
He really is.
His United Way spot on SNL is a top 10 SNL moment, and that's in what, year 50? His United Way commercial where he's winging the ball at kids, telling them to be in certain spots that they're not holding up. They're not holding up their end.
I think I said that after the SNL. Rich, Peyton Manning could obviously do anything on this planet he wanted to do.
I know.
I also believe that Peyton Manning could be the star of a sitcom, and it would.
There's no question. But
last
also
forever.
Peyton Manning could write whatever ticket he wants to call whatever games he wants.
True that.
And you look at Brady's $375 million contract. It's not even worth bringing up to Peyton because instead of calling Monday Night Football in a booth and going all over the country for 20 weeks or what have you.
He changed the game.
What he does is he goes to his own studio and he calls the game anyway for his own production company with his brother in a unique way that is changing, that's outside of the box. And so he doesn't have to put the headset on and call let's take a look at that and do a telestrator. He can do the telestrator himself in his own home. And he has the rights to call the game, but for himself. And then he's got the College Bowl. He's got his own production company. He's coaching his kids on a Saturday, which you can't do if you're calling games.
True that, yeah.
So, he's calling the games anyway, but only 10 of them, not 20 of them.
Well, he doesn't want to spend that much time with Eli. That's
funny. But that's the gag, that these two guys who love each other as brothers are, making fun of each other as brothers. He's doing what he's still calling the games, but for his own production company in his basement.
That's amazing.
That's what we call a win.
Yeah, yeah. And he's got everybody.
The problem
watching.
is, though, if it's in his basement and it's mountain time and it's dinner time, he's either got to eat early or get the hell away from the camera and eat.
I think now it's
Stop
become
in
a
front
thing,
of
though,
that
Rich.
It's just seeing a man of his stature just chowing down up to his elbow, out of some piece of styrofoam. It's just like it's not becoming of him.
Yeah,
just saying.
It's become a thing now, I think, right? Like, you
guess it
want to
is.
see Peyton grubbing.
All right, let's take a break here. And Major League Baseball has gotten it right. I have been barking about this for a long time, and baseball has done it.
You got a lot of problems with baseball.
Top of the hour, the next hour is Chris Brockman's What's More Likely about the first football weekend of the National Football League season, and Courtland Sutton of the Denver Broncos. And you at 844-204-RICH.
Never say never, but never.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
You're listening to The Rich Eisen Show.
I understand.
I've got my residuals, and if you don't mind, I'd like to crow about my career through my residual checks to you sitting right here. I've got 4 envelopes. Which 1 through 4 you choose? Which one do you think?
Let's pick number 2 first.
Number 2 first.
Yeah.
Here we go. Billy Bob Thornton. Yeah. What's the oldest residual checks that you have?
Probably from like Knots Landing and Matlock, stuff like
Come
that.
on.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
No, I get them for like 13 cents all the time. Yeah, from Matlock.
From Matlock
oh,
and
yeah.
Knots
It's like
Landing.
one scene or something in the early 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Well, this one is from, let's see, right here. This one is from CSI Miami Caged.
Nice.
I can't believe this is insane, Billy. This is nuts.
Is this
Chris.
a real one?
This is a real one. From syndication, $153.
Wow, nice job. Nice job.
This is a record, Billy.
Wow. I'm telling you.
I got to open these up more in front of you.
I'm telling you, you can actually afford to send this one in to be cashed.
Sir, usually there must be a decimal point off. It's usually $1.53.
Wow. Oh, I know, right?
What's Caruso making if I'm making $153?
Exactly.
Here we go. Billy Bob Thornton, you're my good luck charm, man.
I got a bad feeling about this one.
This is for CSI Miami Deep Freeze.
Oh, Deep Freeze.
Okay, the other episode, Caged, was for $153. Deep Freeze, appropriately named, $3.09,
There
everybody.
you go. And how ironic that your name is Rich.
Yes. Knots Landing, huh? That's the oldest one you got?
Yeah, I was like a friendly rancher or something on there. I had my scene with Ted Shackelford. Yes, that's right.
You were officially called a timberman.
The timberman?
Yeah, you were a timberman.
Oh, yeah, wow.
On Matlock, you were a pawn shop clerk.
Yeah, pawn shop clerk. I remember that one. Yeah.
Before he won an Oscar as a pawn shop clerk, Billy Bob Thornton. Fantastic. When you open up a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van, you are open up more than just doors, people. You are unlocking potential. The potential to do your own thing and be your own boss and steer your own success and blaze your own trail, because each and every Sprinter van is built, designed, and equipped to let you hit the open road and take on any goal you set. To help you follow your own passions, reawaken that spirit of adventure, and check all those big, bold, fun, and exciting experiences right off your bucket list. Owning a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van lets you live, work, and play out your dreams, no matter how far off the beaten path they're going to take you. And with 16 body types, guess what? Your choice of a gas or diesel engine and thousands of ways to customize, guess what? A Sprinter van is capable and versatile enough to help you drive your ambitions wherever you want to take them. So now's the time to discover what it is that moves you most. Don't wait. Unlock your potential inside a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. Let's go to the phone lines. Waiting the longest, Tyler in Oklahoma. You're on the Rich Eisen Show. What's up, Tyler?
Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Friday.
Right back at you. What's
Friday,
going
bro.
And it is a happy Friday because in the words of George Costanza, sometimes in life, the gods smile upon you, my friends.
They do, huh? What happened? What do you got?
Last night, I got a bunch of grief from my fantasy guys, my fantasy league, about starting Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, and the Bills defense.
Oh, boy. Wow.
This
Wow.
morning, I wake up with over 60 points.
Yes, you did.
Up one game.
Okay, you put all your eggs in that basket. Congratulations. Thanks for the call. You're feeling good. Feeling
And
good.
not only that, to top it all off,
Yes.
the guy that talked the most-ish, if you will, was playing me, and he started Cam Akers.
Oh, that's what you want. That's what you play fantasy for. Thanks for the call.
Your team's
You
gonna
play
do well this
fantasy
year, man.
for making a move, and you get grief for it from the guy who talks the most ish, and he gets 0, and you get $1 billion. It's great. It's great. You know what's also great? What's also great? Here's what's great. It's
What's great,
Ryan,
Rich?
when you sit on a show like this one and a chair like this one, and you say, this is what a sport needs to do.
And they do it?
And then they do it. Takes a while. Takes a while, but as you know, I have staying power.
You've been around for a while.
I've been around.
Like Biggie said, you've been in the game for years.
I've been around. The worst part about baseball is you take a third baseman and you stick him in right center field, and a left-handed hitter of your team hits a base hit
Line drive.
As long as you have been alive, it's a base hit off the bat. You know it's a base hit. You know it's hit hard. You know it's hit in a certain spot, and then it one hops into the glove of the third baseman standing in right center field, and then they throw to first, and that's it, out. And you're like, oh, great, isn't that great? Wow, they know where to position that guy. Give the scouts a cookie. And you as a baseball fan, you're like, oh, God, I haven't seen somebody reach base in the last literally 12 minutes on the clock. Strikeout, strikeout, foul out. Actually, somebody hasn't hit a ball fair. That's the first fair ball I've seen in 8 minutes. Okay, strikeout, pop out, foul out, walk. Oh, we got a rally going, 2 walks. It's been 7 minutes since the inning began. That's the problem with baseball.
Strikeout.
And then
Inning
strikeout,
over.
and then two
Inning
men on, inning lasted 10 minutes, not a single fair ball hit. And then the only fair ball that might be hit is hit into a shift where there's 3 guys to the right of second base. Well, the competition committee has gotten together And even though the vote was not unanimous and the players voted against it, too bad. Now there will be 2 sets of infielders on either side of second base with both feet on the dirt. Yes. Yes. And they put a pitch clock into. I need to see what this work looks like, but I'm told anybody who's seen it in the minor leagues loves it.
Yeah.
And it moves the game along. 15-second clock when the bases are empty, 20 with runners on. I'm assuming the clock starts again if you throw over to first, because I'm taking off if, the clock is down to 1. The pitch has either got to go to home plate or there's a penalty. I think it's a strike ball penalty.
Well,
or
I think
something
you're
like
also
that.
only allowed 2 throwovers per at bat. And the batter has to be ready at the 8-second mark.
It's going to be odd, and you're going to think,
odd.
but guess what? We're moving. We're moving along. And I do love the lyrical pace of baseball where you're just sitting back and chilling out. You'll still have it. You'll still have it. You'll still have 15 pitch at bats. You'll still have it. You'll still have time in between innings and then relievers coming in and all of that. But what you're not going to see is 0 hits because there's a shift. And I know there was a shift for Ted Williams, and I know that's been since old Ross Hadburn or whoever,
Mr. Cogburn?
Since Grover Cleveland was president, they had it. I get it. But now it's beyond the pale. It's too much. And it sucks the life out of a game. I'd rather see 2 men on than no men on and 2 out because the shift was positioned perfectly. Can't wait. Can we start now, please? Can we start now?
Well, no, they can't start.
I want rallies. I want runs. I want offense. Football got it right when they had the 5-yard chuck rule instituted. They got it right. Illegal contact drives me nuts, but more offense. Let's go. Move it along. Oh, love it. Well done, baseball. Well done. And to the people who voted against it, too bad. Too bad. The sport will thrive from it. I believe it in my bones. I believe it. So, there's that. I don't know what to bitch about baseball much anymore. The umpires are actually announcing their calls to the crowd. The shift is gone.
Don't worry.
That.
Oh, I could just bitch about the Yankees screwing up the season. Do that.
My problem is that Manfred only really cares about quickening the pace of play, right? And making game time short. He wants a 2.5-hour baseball game. But he's instituting all these rules that will provide more offense and longer innings, which means longer baseball games.
Maybe I don't think he wants shorter baseball games. He wants more action within the baseball game.
But if there's more action and the scores are 9-8, guess what? That means 3.5-hour baseball games.
But maybe it makes it more watchable or more interest, and there more fantasy teams going on. Like we just had a person calling in, like I just beat the guy I can't stand in fantasy. That you need the soft, the fans who have the soft interest, the casual fan. That's what you need.
Do we?
The sport, yes, you do. The sport is totally regionalized, Chris.
I know, but the problem is baseball thinks they're still America's pastime. They're third.
Well, they can't give up. They can't give up.
But they've lost. It's over.
I don't know
they're never going to be number 1 again. So just accept your spot at number 3 and then make the changes to the fans that care.
If you run the sport and you own a team, not the case.
The owners don't care. They make too much money to care.
False. We've had Tom Werner here. You've spoken to him on this very subject.
But they're screwing up my team too.
Well, that's the thing you can complain about. More action. Let's go. LFG.
I'm almost done.
Yeah, you know what I'm doing? I'm going Timmy Trumpet right now on this development. Love it.
Ready to roll on The Rich Eisen Show.
You know what? Go run another 40 in your suit.
And only The Rich Eisen Show.
Stafford takes, fires one down the middle. This one is intercepted. Picked off by Boogie Basher for the Bills.
Live from The Rich Eisen Show studio in Los Angeles.
I love Matthew Stafford. There was a couple unfortunate balls that get tipped up, but we're going to keep riding.
The Rich Eisen Show. Earlier on the show, 5-time Pro Bowl defensive back Richard Sherman, actor and author Brian Baumgartner, Pro Football Hall of Famer Peyton Manning. Coming up, Broncos wide receiver Courtland Sutton. And now, it's Rich Eisen.
That's a fact. That's a fact. It is Rich Eisen. And I'm referring to myself. What is that, the first person or is third person? It's a third person?
Third.
Yeah. That's that type of Friday. Here on the Rich Eisen Show, here in the home of the Buffalo Bills. Beating down the Los Angeles Rams last night to start the NFL season and, of course, to start week number 1. That wraps up on Monday night. We just spoke with Peyton Manning, the man who last won a playoff game for the Denver Broncos. Yep, the last time they won a playoff game, made the playoffs, was their Super Bowl 50 championship season. Peyton and Eli will be doing their Monday Night Football thing on ESPN2 on that night, and Joe Buck and Troy Aikman will make their ESPN Monday Night Football debut in the booth there, and then Westwood One will have coverage for your Eargate with Kevin Harlan and also with Kurt Warner, and just like last night, I will be hosting the pregame and halftime of that affair, and so much on the line for, obviously, Seattle in their first game without Russell Wilson, and it's Russell Wilson's debut as a Denver Bronco for so many fans who are so excited about it. And joining us right now on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line to kick off hour number 3 of the program, the 2018 NFL draftee, now in his 5th year with the Denver Broncos, out of SMU, none other than Courtland Sutton on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line. How you doing, Courtland?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Should I say let's ride? Is that how I should start our conversation?
I think that's a perfect way to start the little segment.
Okay, let's ride then. Let's ride, Courtland.
Let's ride. I like it.
How have things changed with Russ in the mix there in Denver, Courtland?
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a good change. It's guys are feeling the hype and feeling the urgency of what Russ brings to the table, and it's been a lot of fun. I think guys have been enjoying the process from not even just the offensive side of the ball, from the defense side of the ball as well. Guys are enjoying the challenge of elevating our game to the next level.
So what does he bring to the table? What specifics has Russ brought to the table where you're like, okay, I can enjoy that for sure? What's he bringing to the table, Courtland?
Obviously the things that you guys and everybody else sees, on the field. The guy can play. He can play some football, as everybody knows. But I think the thing that he's brought to us as an offense and then us as an organization is the way he prepares. He prepares himself for every meeting, every practice, every walkthrough, as if he's getting ready for the Super Bowl. And he passes that off to us. That was one of the first things he kind of put on us whenever we first started working out with him. And then during OTAs, he was like, everything that we do should be us imagining getting prepared for the Super Bowl. And it's brought a different urgency to our building and especially to our offense.
Well, what about not giving up on a route? Walk me through that with him.
Oh man, it's that's been a lot. That's one thing that's been a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure you guys have all heard. Once the quarterback breaks the pocket, a whole nother play starts, and that's been something that's been pushed on us heavy since we've acquired Russ. He's a guy that we run our first concept, and you look back there and you see him do a little spin, and he gets out of the pocket, and a whole nother concept starts. The scramble drill, and it's definitely been a lot of fun. Being able to get those extra targets, those extra yards on those scramble drills with him, extending those plays out.
And what about the coach? So much has changed, my gosh, for you from the quarterback, and now Nathaniel Hackett's coming in. How is his program different from Vic Fangio's? What do you got for me there?
Coach Hackett and the coaching staff, I think if you ask anybody that's been around us, will tell you that it's been a different energy. It's a different energy from top down. I say top down because it starts with Coach Hackett. He comes in every day. You see him, he has a smile on his face, and the guy is happy and enjoying him being able to be the head coach of the Denver Broncos, and then also being our leader. And when you have somebody that's like that, the guy that truly enjoys what he coming in to work every day, and it makes it an enjoyment for everybody else to come into work every day. You get a lot out of it, and on top of the enjoyment, Coach also when we on the field, he means business. He's out there to get stuff done, and he reminds us that we out there for a reason. To go out there and get stuff done. But like I said, he also makes it to where we enjoy going to meetings. We enjoy going out to practice. Everything that we do has a purpose, and guys are really bought in. Guys are, like I said, enjoying being in the building, being around each other because of, like I said, it starts top down because of Coach Hackett, the way that he comes to work every single day.
I learned something about Coach Hackett yesterday, Courtland Sutton, that he spent time in his life as a hip-hop dance instructor. Are you aware of that, Courtland?
It's funny because I learned the same thing yesterday, and I literally talked to him going to practice yesterday about it, and he was giving me a little rundown on his class and how he used to go about it. And it's funny because I've seen him. I try to do like a little a pin drop, little spin on his head at practice one day, and it was hilarious. But now I know where it comes from.
So what? Say what? What happened? What?
He tried to do some little breakdancing move at practice one day when we were in stretch lines, and I was trying to figure out where that came from. But now, after yesterday, I found out, him being the hip hop teacher and everything, it makes sense where the origins come from.
It just makes it. There's new ownership, new people signing your checks. It's just. How are you handling all of this change, Courtland Sutton? It's a totally different world for you than the first 4 years of your professional playing career. Am I wrong?
Man, you're not wrong. Everything is new, but as you all probably know, with new comes change, and change isn't always bad. Change has good energy that comes with it, and everything that's been new about this year and going into this season has been amazing. New quarterback, new coaches, new ownership, everything that's been new that we've acquired, new players, guys that we've added to the roster. Besides Russ, everything that we've added has brought good energy, good change. good vibes to the team and to the organization. And I think everybody from top down, from the ownership all the way down, everybody's enjoying the process of this new, embracing the new, and getting ready for this season, and just being in the moment. Everybody's just being in the moment. Everybody's enjoying just this process of the change and everything that's going on around us.
What about you, Courtland Sutton? What are your goals for the 2022 season? What do you do on that front?
Statistically, I keep a lot of my goals to myself. I know where I'm trying to get to, but overall, I think a couple of my goals would be to be one of the best leaders I can for the team, and then secondly, just go out there and be the best player I can for the squad. I feel like if I go out there and I put my best foot forward every game, then I'm putting myself and the team in the best situation possible to go have some success. And I'm just looking forward to the season. It's been a long road. From us, acquiring Russ. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of what will they do, and now we finally get to go put it on the field for everybody else to go see all the hard work that we've been putting in and continue to put in. Everybody else gets to see that come to fruition, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for the season for sure.
So, of all the changes in Denver, I give you a choice. You could have an unlimited gift card to Walmart. The new owners of the team give you an unlimited gift card to Walmart, or front row seats to a Ciara concert. You can only choose one. One is a one night experience, and another is a lifetime shopping experience. Courtland Sutton, what do you choose?
Let me get the Walmart gift card. I'm gonna have to take the Walmart gift card. From what I've been able to witness, Sierra's an amazing person. She's very nice. Yes. And Russell speaks highly of her. He loves his wife, and she's, like I said, she's very nice to us and everything. But let me get the Walmart gift card, and we'll be good.
Okay. All right. So you went with the commerce.
Practical.
Okay. Because at some point maybe you'd be able to work your way into the front row of the concert anyway. Yeah. Maybe that's what you're thinking. Is that your thought process?
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to take that with me.
Okay, very good. All right. Before I let you go, Courtland Sutton, has Russ at all talked about the meaning of this game for him and of the returning to Seattle? Has he pulled you aside? Any of the wide receivers talked to him about it? Him basically saying what's up and how it's going to feel on Monday night when you walk into that stadium with him as a first time as teammates at all, Courtland?
He hasn't really talked about, he hasn't said, okay, we have to go in and beat these guys because it's my old team. Mm-hmm. Russ is a very strategic thinker when it comes to football. So everything that he does has a purpose and a meaning, like I said earlier. And, for going into this game, for him, it's just, I was there before, but it's another game for him. It's another opportunity for him to go out there and prove to everybody and to himself that, he is who everybody already thinks that he is and knows that he is. And, he's been giving us pointers on some things that, he knows from obviously being in Seattle for a really long time, how Coach Carroll thinks, how a lot of the guys over there, their philosophy and how they move. But he hasn't really pulled aside and been like, okay, we have to win this game because this is my old team. It's been more of a, hey, we're going to go win this game because of all the preparation that we put forward. We're going to go out there and showcase all of this hard work that we have been putting in. And, I think he's really excited. He's excited to be able to, new, like you said, it's new for everybody, but I think if anything, it's really new for him. Being drafted there, winning a Super Bowl there, having the success that he's had with that organization. I think he's excited for the opportunity to go and create new beginnings and new records, new everything with us.
But you gotta do it, right? To come up with that dub.
Of course. We gotta go out there and take care of business. That's already understood.
Okay, because your coach's dad also got replaced at USC by Pete Carroll. You aware of that one too? You aware of that one?
Oh, I'm learning something new every day.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's just spinning around on top of his head because he's so excited about that revenge opportunity. You know what I mean? I don't know.
That might be. I'm gonna run it by him today at practice and see what he says. But that definitely could be a reason.
I'm just feeding the fire. That's what I do for a living. Courtland, I hope this is the first of many times we talk on this program. Thanks for calling in.
Oh, most definitely. Thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. You guys have enjoy your rest of y'all's day.
You do too. Courtland Sutton, you're the man of the Denver Broncos. Right here. Let's ride. Let's ride. We appreciate that was a great ride. A great ride. We've ridden. That's a terrible hashtag. We've ridden. You can't do that in front of a green screen, right, with a football. We've ridden.
That's weird.
It's just past tense.
Let's ride.
You know, when you do this, as I've been fortunate to do for quite some time,
How long,
interviewing NFL players. I'm in season, what would you say, season 20. That's right. Yeah.
Congratulations.
I don't know if you're aware of that.
How old are you again?
You know what, guys? You guys can just take that and stick it where the sun doesn't shine, because I've done this for a while, and I'm pleased to say it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just letting our audience know that you are not new to the game.
Having somebody who once upon a time fired Bengals cam up for Chad Johnson, pre-Ocho Cinco. Okay?
Chad.
You know when the light's on with a player and they can play. They can play around. And I got that vibe from Courtland Sutton. So. You take the Walmart card over the Sierra front row seat?
Is it just one concert?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Front row?
But I get multiple Walmart cards or just one?
No,
it's like a Walmart black card.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because
they have grocery stores now.
Yeah. I usually get my draws from Walmart anyway.
Top
so that would be
electronics.
That'd be great.
Right.
Gotta think smart.
That's right.
Long term.
I bet your Commissioner Goodell has one of those too.
And think about this, Rich. If they win a Super Bowl, that's a free front row seat to Sierra. She's going to put on a show.
Okay.
Courtland's going to get front row.
Concert at the parade.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah. Very good. I only ask the pertinent questions.
Let's ride.
844-204-RICH, number to dial. Phone calls. We'll hear from John Harbaugh, who's spoken on the fact that Lamar and the Ravens have decided to table things, or at least Lamar has, on his contractual front. And Chris Brockman with the first in-season edition of What's More Likely coming up. He'll give me some ideas about what's more likely to come out of this football weekend in September. 844-204-RICH, number to dial.
Yeah, man.
Sorry, Rich Eisen.
Nobody cares about him.
Wow.
The caller makes a good point.
When there's a conundrum on the field and it needs to be replayed, and Adam Carolla, you came up with an idea that there is a GIMP in the stadium, correct?
The idea dawned on me when I was watching all the replay stuff, and it was clear to us that he got his hands and he made a football move.
Yes.
But we see the thing where he catches the ball, he starts to turn, he takes one step, he gets blown up by the safety, the ball goes squirting out, your team recovers, you're going nuts, then they go back and they go, not enough to overturn what we already called.
Correct.
My feeling is I don't like that factor. That taints it. I want a fresh set of GIMP eyeballs on this thing.
And so it's fresh because the GIMP has been in a box or in a trunk?
The deal with the GIMP is he doesn't know the team. He doesn't know the players. He doesn't know what city he's in. He doesn't know the date. He doesn't know who's president. He doesn't know anything. He's a GIMP. He comes out, first thing, he's blinded by the sun. He's not seen the light of the sun in weeks now. And it's this, and he's blinded, he's disoriented, and we run him. He has a handler, you know. They run him out. They're flogging him. You know, he has his leash, but they're also using it to beat him as they're bringing him out. Of course, between the sunlight and being flogged, and they push him under the thing, and he just makes a declaration. He doesn't know what two teams are playing. He's not in a fantasy league. He has nothing riding on this at all. It's like, did he catch it? Did he do it? Once he does it, now, obviously, if it goes against the home team, that's when they double down on the beatings of the guy, and they run him back into his pen.
All of the Ace Man's appearances, check it out right here on our YouTube feed. You can listen to the NFL in the NFL app, on the Odyssey app, on WestwoodOneSports.com via Westwood One station streams, or by asking Alexa to open Westwood One Sports, sponsored by AutoZone. It's time to say goodnight to that check engine light with the free AutoZone Fix Finder service. It'll help troubleshoot the likely cause of your light for free. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Rob in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let's take your phone call. What's up, Rob?
Hey, Rich, thanks for the call. Hey, I want to make a couple quick points. On the shift, I like your optimism, but I don't think it's going to change anything.
Why?
You're going to see new defensive formations. They're going to bring the left fielder into short right. They're going to make other ways to sprint the second baseman in and have because I'm assuming as soon as the ball is released, all bets are off. So I like the optimism, but I don't think it's going to change anything.
So you think somebody's going to have their feet on the dirt at the pitch and then just bolt into right center field to get into the spot where it would normally be and run the risk of I don't know, because normally that third baseman, if you will, is in short right center field, and somebody's position where the second baseman would be, that might be the shortstop. You know what I'm saying? I don't, or the second baseman stays put. You know, I just think it's gonna and I appreciate the call. I think it's just gonna open stuff up. It's gonna open stuff up. And by the way, Jeff Passan, who I follow, and I just found out doesn't follow me back. I don't know what happened there.
Oh.
Unfollow
him and then follow him back.
We're tight. I consider us tight.
He'll get a notification.
I mean, I love his information. I love his appearances. I love his hair. I tell him how great he looks.
Apparently, Jeff doesn't feel the same.
What's up with that? But at any rate, somebody said, I'm not really into the pitch clock idea. He said that based on having seen it and what other people are saying about it, he calls it the most fan-friendly invention since sale of beer at games.
Oh, I mean, come on.
Is what he called the pitch clock.
That's a much.
That's what he said. The most fan-friendly invention in baseball since the sale of beer at games is what he called the pitch clock. I love it. They're trying, instead of sitting around and saying, well, this is the way it was done when, Reconstruction happened, so we can't change it.
Hey, good luck
And I think you're going to love it.
Good luck.
And you're still going to be tweeting all caps about your.
At least I have prospects to be excited about.
You're
going to lose. I don't want this to be a New York Boston.
No, it's not. I'm saying
you're taking shots at me.
Because you're saying you're not going to follow the sport. I said you're going to love it.
No,
you're still going to have your Devers bombs.
I'm
saying
saying
and
every
stuff.
day. Every day I'm a little closer to not being a baseball fan because it's really hard to watch.
But you love the sport too much, and I think you're not going to quit it. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
I'm not.
Well, that's an MP. That's my problem.
Right.
Which I wish I didn't have that problem. Baseball is becoming close to me like Game of Thrones. I wish I never started watching it.
Oh, man.
That's deep.
Too much?
No, it's the way you feel. It's the way you.
It's really hard to watch, and it starts with the commissioner who's not good at his job.
I think these are good inventions, and I think this is going to make the sport more watchable. I'm going to go the exact opposite.
I hope you're right.
I hope you're right, and I hope you feel so much the same way that you will put me in a cart and wheel me down like it's the first point I ever made correct.
That was totally unnecessary. Look, that was unnecessary.
It's getting hot.
I mean, I can take this to a really dark place, but
let's go.
I'm going to be the bigger person.
Come on, man.
I'm going to be the bigger person.
What is happening?
You're taking unnecessary shots at me for no reason.
No, I'm telling you, you're going to love it. And I hope I'm right, and I hope you're wrong. So,
guys, it's Friday. What the hell is going on?
I was excited.
Meanwhile,
Friday.
Meanwhile, the Friday deadline set by Lamar Jackson and Lamar Jackson's agent, otherwise known as him, on the trade. On the contractual front, he set a deadline here, and he stuck to it, man. Because whatever the Ravens offered, and we will find out.
You think so?
Oh, please. We will find out what Lamar Jackson turned down.
I'm really curious.
And he's going to play under the franchise tag. John Harbaugh getting set for a trip to the Jets to try and beat back the revenge factor placed on the table by Joe Flacco, who, by the way, will not have Dwayne Brown protecting him on the left side. He's apparently so hurt he might go on injured reserve. The guy who's who they signed to replace Mekhi Becton might not even play all year. Isn't that great? I won't go down that wormhole. This is about Rich. This is about the Ravens.
Oh my God.
John Harbaugh had this to say about the impasse that still exists on the contractual front between the franchise and their franchise quarterback.
I mean, I think all the feelings that you would expect that anybody would have, you probably have. I wasn't, probably not for me as much because I wasn't directly involved with any back and forth. But, you're hopeful. But there's still, those things will work themselves out in the end. I'm confident that. I think I said at the beginning that'll happen when it's time, and when it's time, it'll happen. So Lamar's playing quarterback. He's going to be playing quarterback here for a long time. He and I talked about it yesterday a little bit, like, hey, man, let's go be our best and go focus on football. And that's what he's been doing all along. So I know nothing will change with that, and just focused on Sunday.
It is what it is. Good kudos to Harbaugh for not dropping that coaching cliche, because this is what it is. And what it is a contractual impasse. I guess the most unique contractual impasse, because it involves a generationally talented player who has already won an MVP award within his first contract, who has captured the fancy and complete adoration of the fan base in Baltimore, and has asked for something that the Ravens clearly are uncomfortable giving, and he is uncomfortable saying yes to what the Ravens have said they're comfortable to give him, which is not the way you normally want to go into a season with a guy that has your entire season hopes on his shoulder and in his heart and in his mind. But if there's anybody who can truly place this aside and just be the man, it's Lamar, certainly since he's now bet on himself. And, the Ravens have an opportunity to franchise tag him again, either exclusively or not. The non-exclusive is less money than the exclusive, and allows them to recoup 2 first-round draft choices if another team matches and they say we can let you go. Obviously, they can sign a long-term contract as well. And that's the future of it. But we're going to find out, Chris. Oh, we'll find out. Because this is going to be a conversation about why it happened at some point.
Well, Lamar didn't like the guaranteed money.
And then why didn't he like the guaranteed money then if it was a significant amount of money,
had to have been at least what Russell Wilson
if it gets to the point where it's placed pressure on the front office of the Ravens that they didn't get it done, we'll find out. Somebody will say something to somebody who says something to somebody, and it may not be something that Steve Bisciotti or even Eric DeCosta has greenlit, but somebody will say something. And if it comes down to it that Lamar should have taken the money and he didn't, and he'll let it loose to point out the Ravens didn't give him enough. Look at what they offered him. It wasn't even as much as this or that, the other thing. Oh, it'll come out. It'll come out. Maybe even before kickoff if things get a little hot.
Gosh, that would be awesome. I'm dying to know what it was.
Do you don't think somebody's digging on it or knows already, and one of the information men or women just going to sit on it and pop it out there on Sunday because that's what they do? Because that's the biggest platform is Sunday football pregame.
I think you're right.
We'll find out.
Like 10 a.m. Eastern.
Oh, this is not the end of it. The end of it could be is if Lamar just absolutely kills it.
I think
and it's not even an issue. I know you've chosen them to win the division.
I do think so.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and many believe that as well. I still think it's the Bengals division. And so, if he crushes it, the only time it'll come up is when he re-signs, just like, how much did he turn down? How much did he make more by sticking to his figurative guns? But if he gets hurt, it'll be like, how much money did he turn down?
Like, if he turned down 180 guaranteed, that's kind of a head scratcher.
I'm just fascinated. And was the Deshaun Watson contract being fully guaranteed the thing that truly did gum this up in a way that it didn't in Arizona for Kyler Murray or Denver for Russell Wilson? Because as you know, they're riding.
Yeah, I mean, I'm riding. I have Russ in fantasy.
So 844-204-RICH, number to dial here on the Rich Eisen Show. Speaking of Arizona, let's do this, and then we'll go to what's more likely. Chad in Cincinnati's been Chad in Cincinnati. Hold on, we'll do this before the end of the show. Okay, you hang on one more time. Let's get to you right now, Chris. You ready?
Sure,
let's
I'm ready.
do this. Let's explore the studio space. We've been doing this all non-playing season for the football season, but now we're in season of football. It is time for Chris Brockman's What's More Likely. Hit it, please.
What's more likely?
Never say never, but never.
Okay, Chris, what do you got over there?
Hey, guys, what's happening? You guys good?
I am. I'm good.
I'm great.
Great.
I'm going to ride around in a cart after this
There
segment.
you go.
What's more likely based on last night? The Bills win 14-plus games this year, or the Rams miss the playoffs?
Bills win 14-plus games this year. That's more likely. I don't know, man.
The Rams look terrible.
The Rams, and the problem with the Rams, the way they looked is in baseball, when you've got a bad pen, you've got a bad bullpen, that is something that can just erode an entire team, and it messes with your head innings 1 through 6, and it messes with your head certainly when your bullpen blows it. There's 2 versions of that in football. One is your run defense can't stop anything. Okay, and it demoralizes an entire team. And the other thing is that your offensive line doesn't perform very well. You can't do anything. You can't run it with consistency, and your quarterback gets beat up. And
Matt was running for his life.
The offensive line looked just like the results are in from just game 1, and that's a problem. And the question is, how does an offensive line get better? Well, you hear Cindy coach. And if we had Mooch here, it'll be just play better, just practice better, just play better. And it's just like, yeah, but what do you do? No, it's time and it's effort. Well, it's more just time. It's just like put the time in and practice and get ready, and then you'll be better. It's a more cohesive unit, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Or you go get somebody else. That's a tough spot to get somebody else right now because offensive linemen, there's a ton of teams that need one. Jets are one, Cowboys are another, so on and so forth. So I'll take the Bills 14+. That's more likely. What else, Chris?
All right, all of these have to do our matchups this weekend.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
All right, let's go. Falcons, Saints.
Yes.
Kyle Pitts scores his first U.S. touchdown. Or Mike Thomas gets his first touchdown Since 2019.
Michael Thomas scores his first touchdown since 2019. That is more likely. I will say that. Michael Thomas is my choice of comeback player of the year.
He sounds like he's ready to go.
I will do that. I will go there. That certainly against Atlanta, I am ready to see Michael Thomas back out there for the Saints, and I just know that Jameis Winston is going to take the snap, and he's going to fade back, and he's going to just plant that lower elbow. No, damn it. He's going to plant that lower wrist and make sure that the lower elbow that he's rehabbed supports the upper body, and then he will cock his throwing upper knee and follow through with his throwing upper hip and find Michael Thomas. Did I get that right?
I think so.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, Niners, Bears.
Don't worry, TJ. I'm not singing the children's hit.
No, I'm just
Jay, do you know head, shoulders, knees, and toes?
Upper toes?
Because Del Tufo acted like, I don't have kids, I don't know it. So
everyone knows that.
Thank you. All right, Niners, Bears. Second-year quarterback to have 300 combined yards and 3 combined touchdowns. Trey Lance or Justin Fields?
Trey Lance. Of course, I'm going to say Trey Lance.
Who
are you talking about? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
Riding and dying.
I've been a Trey Lance guy since the minute I heard his name.
Say what?
Oh, he played at Carson Wentz's school? That kid? Come on, man. He got the weapons, too. Come on. That's more likely. Trey Lance. Let's go.
On the road?
Okay.
All right, Panthers, Browns. Baker F's up the Browns and CMC is back? Or the Browns shock for a week 1 upset? A lot of big line movement on this now. It's a pick'em.
Is it? Where'd it go?
It was Panthers minus 2.5 and now a pick'em.
What happened there?
That means
What's
Browns
your read?
money.
What's
Browns
your there?
money.
What's your read there?
I have no idea because I think the Panthers roll.
I don't think they roll. I'll say I'll choose the Browns upset. How does that sound? I'll go Browns upsets more likely. Myles Garrett, man, it's time. They
have all the pieces. There's no question.
They sure do. And Chubb and Kareem Hunt and Brissett. It's not like his first rodeo.
Back, right?
I mean, it's time for them to just show everybody that just because the front office and ownership totally screwed up everything that had to do with Deshaun Watson by giving him all that money and then keeping on putting him out there and letting him totally say the exact opposite of what everybody has been saying on his behalf and putting their reputation on the line for him. That just because of all that doesn't mean Kevin Stefanski forgot how to coach, and the former coach of the year doesn't have some really talented players around him. I'll go with the Browns upsets more likely. That's what I'll do.
Nice.
I'm even thinking of lone wolfing the Browns on game day morning Sunday.
You think you'll be the only one?
Oh, I think I'm absolutely going to be the only one.
Irv is unpredictable.
Well, you mean his choice of Kirk Cousins as MVP was just done all willy-nilly?
And the Cowboys losing the Super Bowl? You know?
Just saying.
What else, Chris?
All right. Defender in a new home to be more of a game wrecker on Sunday.
Okay.
Khalil Mack, Chandler Jones.
I'll go. Oh, please, come on now. Where do you think I'm going? Come on now. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I'm not gonna talk my play 15 times to Sunday. Chandler Jones, baby.
I'm being a good teammate. I'm teeing you up.
Chandler Jones.
What do you think?
Chandler Jones.
Who?
Let me just say it one more time. Chandler Jones.
Mike Jones.
Because Chandler Jones, you know what? He might be in a new home. And Khalil Mack's playing at home in his new home. That's a home game for the Raiders, folks.
Yep.
You think 60% of it was 60?
Oh, yeah.
You think it was 60-40 Bills over Rams fans last night? Guess what that's going to look like on Sunday?
Oh,
he's going.
Can't
Jay
wait.
Felly's going.
So
Dude,
excited.
the Raiders fans, there are more Raiders fans here in this town than maybe Rams fans, as we saw last night, and Chargers fans combined. Chandler Jones is going to get some get-off, as Justin Herbert might call up Matthew Stafford and say, how'd you do that silent snap at count at home? Because he's going to have to do that too. Chandler Jones, sir. I'm back in my Raiders play.
Yeah.
Boy, you're asking easy questions. What do you think I'm going to just... Are you trying to get me to To countermand my own orders all season long, all off season. I mean, I'm just trying to set some traps here. I'm not taking any cheese.
Hey, the cheese stands alone.
I'm Bob Cousy out here. I'm setting you up. All right, here we go. Packers Vikings.
Speaking of cheese,
Vikings offense makes a statement in a win, or Rodgers continues MVP form.
Rodgers continues MVP form. That's more likely. Rodgers. I would say I would be lone wolfing the Packers myself on Sunday, but Mariucci is still Mariucci. You know what he's going to be taking. But Irv's definitely taking the Vikings because he had Justin Jefferson breaking all of Cooper Kupp's records as a bold prediction. And then as if that was his bold prediction, Kirk Cousins winning the MVP. That was just a regular prediction. And then he's got the Vikings winning the division. I still need to see it to believe it. And I heard that Alan Lazard might not play. And the Packers are still saying right now they won't even say if their banged-up offensive linemen are going to be playing in this game. But you got to take the MVP. You got to take him.
You don't have to. I mean,
well, you're saying what's more likely?
Yeah, what's more likely?
I will say that is more likely than a statement game from the Vikings in their first game out of the box.
All right, last one.
We need one more?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get one more.
Very good.
Chiefs Cardinals.
This is amazing.
Chiefs roll and look like contenders, or Cardinals get a week 1 upset.
Oh, Chiefs roll and look like contenders. That's more likely. I'm taking the Chiefs in this game. I'll tell you that right now.
Marquise Brown, Rondo Moore.
You think differently?
James Conner? No, I like the Chiefs.
Again, I got a name for you. George Karlaftis. I'm saying that name for you for the Chiefs. And I'm not just saying this because all the Chiefs fans led by Stone Street are so upset with me because I'm riding with the Raiders right now. But I think...
Not right now. You've been riding with them for months.
I know. I know. But, I do also like the fact that the Chiefs, they're coming in with some lather from preseason, too, you know? I think the Cardinals might have their hands full on Sunday, and I will say it's more likely that the Chiefs look like contenders than the Cardinals, minus D-Hop, come up with a shocker. Oh, baby. Love it. What's more likely right there? And we didn't even talk about, like, Dolphins and Patriots or Bengals and Steelers or Titans and Giants. We didn't even talk about games.
I don't know what's going to happen in that game. Titans, Giants? Who knows?
I think Derrick Henry's going to be a load. And it's still a game-time decision for Kayvon Thibodeau, whose injury I'm not talking about because it happened on a play that caused much grief for me on my Twitter timeline. I'm still getting.
Like, there's a lot of home dogs this week, and it's going to be a wild week 1, man. Survivor pick was tough.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Rich. I went with the Ravens.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I mean, against Flacco, week 1. I mean, geez, you got the. We talked about Niners and Bears. Oh, you talked about a lot of them. Good job, Chris.
I tried to hit on them at some matchups.
844-204-RICH is the number to dial. We'll take some phone calls. Do you have a sneaky good game?
I do have sneaky
Brockman
good
wants to make you all some money. Oh, we got a grab bag, too. That's right. TJ Jefferson's grab bag on the top 5 things he's looking forward to seeing the Cowboys this year, huh? Won't that be really up the alley of about 31 other fan bases, huh?
They'll love it.
Okay.
Trust me. They
All
care.
right.
The chat is excited.
Yes, the chat's excited. Let's go to break, baby. It's football season.
Yeah! Eberflus!
Let's get them all. Let's hit them all now while we got the muscle.
was right. Holla at a brother.
You're listening to The Rich Eisen Show.
Real deep, baby.
All right, let's go to Chad from Cincinnati right here on the Rich Eisen Show. I need NFL Films music, Jay Felly. Hit it, please. Hit it. Chad, you there?
I'm here.
All right, you want to play the win-loss game for the Arizona Cardinals? I've got about less than 2 minutes. Are you ready to do it?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Home for the Chiefs.
I'm going to that game, Rich, and it's going to be an L, but I don't like the disrespect because we typically start off strong.
All right.
But I do think we're going to take it out.
All right, Chad. No disrespect to you. I just need the words win or loss. At the Raiders.
Okay, got it.
What do you got?
Win.
Home for the Rams.
Win.
Okay, at the Panthers.
Loss.
Home for the Eagles.
Win.
At the Seahawks.
Win.
Home for the Saints on a Thursday night.
Loss.
At the Vikings.
Loss.
Home for the Seahawks.
Win.
At the Rams.
Loss.
Home for the Niners, but it's in Mexico City. I got 30 seconds. Go for it.
Win.
Home for the Chargers.
Loss.
Home for the Patriots on a Monday night off a bye.
Win.
At the Broncos.
Loss.
Home for the Bucks.
Win.
At the Falcons.
Win.
At the Niners.
Loss.
All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 and 8. I don't know if that makes the playoffs, Chad.
9 and 8, yeah.
Thanks for the call. You're the man. Thanks for hanging on as long as you did. That's Chad in Cincinnati. He said 9 and 8, and Spencer in Florida said 9 and 8. Two callers in for the Cardinals fans.
Hey,
and 9 and 8 doesn't make too many people happy. I'll tell you that.
No.
NetSuite, if you don't know your numbers, you don't know your business. You just don't. And that's true when your business is growing fast, and even more true that there's so much uncertainty in our business world. But not every business is in the dark because of NetSuite. Over 31,000 businesses know their numbers because they use NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, planning, budgeting, and, of course, inventory so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need all in one place. In 2022, profit's the new growth. So know your numbers, know your business, get to know how NetSuite can be the source of truth for your entire company. And right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/richradio right now. netsuite.com/richradio. netsuite.com/richradio. All right, you guys, we've got about 8 minutes to go on the show. You're going to have to split them up both. You want to go TJ first?
Yeah, he goes first.
TJ's big-ass grab bag. Hit it
What
before.
in the world is in that bag? What you got in that bag?
All right, fellas, like we always do at this time, Kaboom. Guess who stepped in the room? Listen, TJ here. Just want to knock this out real quick. I got some feelings, Chris, about the Dallas Cowboys in the upcoming season.
I know you do.
And I'm not claiming we're winning Super Bowls. I'm not claiming anything. I'm just saying I reached into the big-ass grab bag and just pulled out 5 things that I'm going to be paying attention to this upcoming season about the Dallas Cowboys, great? And coming in at number 5, Micah Parsons and the continued evolution of this Dallas defense. The defense was, the best thing about the Cowboys season last year. Micah Parsons, he sat in your chair, Rich. He literally sat in your chair.
He's a lion.
He's a lion. He's a beast. The kid's smart. He's athletic. He wants to get better. He wants to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing where Micah Parsons goes in his second year. And also, we got guys like Dante Fowler. Let's see if he can resurrect his career under Dan Campbell, former 3rd pick in the 2015 draft. Looking forward to seeing what this defense and Micah Parsons
Dan
does.
Quinn. I know you said Dan Campbell.
Oh, my
It's all
bad.
good.
I'm sorry. I watched Hard Knocks last night.
It's all good. It's on the brain.
Coming in at number 4, special teams and clock management. I keep saying last year we would have beat Tampa Bay in the first game of the season, except for our kicker missed 2 field goals and an extra point. Rich, I remember there was 3 games last year where you came in and asked, what were they doing with their timeout situation?
What were they doing?
Clock management and special teams cost this team.
By the way, that's an evergreen topic to look forward to a Cowboys season, not just 2022.
Man, it's frustrating. So I hope that the coaches understand how to call the timeout when it's necessary, what the 2-minute warning means, and I hope that Brett Maher can make some kicks this year.
Yes.
All right, coming at number 3, this is probably should have been number 1 because if this goes south, the entire season goes south. That's Dak Prescott's health. Okay, we know about the broken ankle, the compound fracture. Then he came back. Then he had a shoulder surgery. Remember last year there was a thing about pitcher's shoulder and no one had ever heard of?
We got Tom House in studio next year.
Yeah, so then the calf happened, Chris, and now word is something was wrong with his cleats in practice yesterday. He's wearing Jordans. He's wearing Jordan 1s usually. He wore a pair of 11s. Didn't like those. Something went wrong, so he's going back to the 1s. You and I, Brockman, know Jordan 1s aren't exactly the most comfortable J's out there.
God.
So where Dak Prescott's health goes, so goes the Dallas Cowboys.
Shoe of the year? Is that what it is? He's going for comeback shoe of the year?
It could be, but that's number 3. Like I said, it's probably really number 1 because if he goes down, it's a wrap. At number 2, speaking of people going down, people thought we had the greatest offensive line in football. Yeah. Times have changed. We know what happened. Tyron Smith goes down. Big issues on the offensive line. We'll see if Jason Peters can do something. He's 40. He's still a big man. Still got a little left in the tank. Dallas's offensive line, man. We got to see. These guys have got to show up. They got to grow up, first of all. And it's not going to be easy, but they got to do their thing. Mm-hmm. And coming in at number 1, the top story for the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion, Sean Payton. He's just the specter of Sean Payton. It's looming large.
Look at that.
If we start off slow,
look at that.
If things go astray.
Told you.
How long before this dude's name? Like, what time is it right now, Chris? What time before Sean Payton's name gets thrown into this Cowboys
5 minutes ago?
Well, I mean, if your number 4 point about clock management and special teams
goes wrong,
those are kind of combined right there.
It's going to be sooner than later, yeah, man. So that's the number 1 thing. Sean Payton, the name's out there. We're going to see what happens, but those are just 5 things that I'm looking forward to. And 5 questions I need answered.
And you didn't give us the extra 5. If you gave us the 6th one, it has to be who's catching the football.
Yeah, but I want to save my extras, so I didn't put 6 in there. I want to set
I think you're
you
a
down.
little shy about it. You're a little shy about it.
I'm not worried about the receivers, to be honest with you. Gallup will be back. James Washington, remember he broke his foot about 4 weeks ago. They said he'd be out 6 to 10.
Yeah,
he should be back by week 3, 4, hopefully. So I'm not so much worried about the receivers.
Zach Wilson was supposed to be out 2 to 4. He's going to be out 8.
Well, I mean, maybe he's got brittle bones. I can't speak for Zach Wilson.
All right, that's your top 5. That's TJ's big ass grab bag right there.
That's my man right there.
Thank you very much.
Feller.
Thank you very much. All right, Chris, you want to make some people some hard-earned American cash?
I mean, I want to make them money. I want to make myself money.
Okay,
Let's
here we go. Chris Brockman, Sneaky Good Games. Hit it.
Here's Chris Brockman with Sneaky Good Games. Contests likely to surprise you with their heretofore undisclosed competitive value.
Again, I don't know how you get NBC News Emeritus Tom Brokaw to do that, Chris. It's impressive.
Oh, Tom likes to lay a little action. That's why.
Is that what it is? I had no idea.
Yeah, you didn't know. All right, we started slow last year, finished strong. We're going to come out of the gate 3-0.
Okay, what do you got?
Guarantee. I like the Panthers. They are at home. A pick 'em. Baker Mayfield revenge game. We don't need to talk anymore about it. We know what's going down. Baker's going to come out hot, and the Panthers are going to win this game. CMC not on the injury report. You see that thing yesterday? He got cleated in practice, and suddenly he popped up with a bruised shin on the injury report. He's fine. Okay. Not off. He's going to go. It's just going to be awesome. All right, Kansas City at Arizona. I love the Chiefs in this game. They're just going to do their thing. I'm back on the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even going to be close. Rondale Moore is 50-50 to play. He's probably not going to play. J.J. Watt's not going to play. I don't know how Arizona stops this team. And because it's week 1, Rich, and there's going to be a ton of Raiders fans there, let's just root for the over. There's going to be tons of points. These secondaries can't stop anybody. Tons of points. Over 52 at SoFi on Sunday.
All right. Those are the ones you like, huh? Those are the ones that jump out at you, huh?
That's what I like.
I don't know about you, but that looked like money.
There you go. I like it. All right.
Yeah. We need to add that to Brokaw.
I don't know. I mean, I think Brokaw speaks for himself.
I love Alabama tomorrow, too.
Speaking of Tua?
If you want to lay through
what is it?
20.
That's a lot.
Have you seen Alabama play football?
I have seen Alabama play football. All right, great stuff, guys.
Let's go.
Ready for the rest of the football weekend? How about us?
Yeah.
How about us?
It's going to be amazing.
Monday, again, to everybody who's out there watching us on our YouTube stream, we love being on here. I love looking at the chat room. Certainly when I get somebody named Tommy Montoya asking, which one of these guys is TJ, my fellow Cowboys fans, or the bald guy?
I saw that. Wait, someone really said that?
Yes, they did.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's great. It's great. I think this segment actually established who TJ really is as a Cowboys fan. So we won't the 457s who have been out there in our chat room. We greatly appreciate you and those who have been watching us on our YouTube stream since we parted ways with Peacock. We appreciate you sticking with us and being those hardcores. Please do us a favor and seek us out on the Roku channel. We would love to have you. It's a big initiative for Roku, and we're so honored and humbled that they chose us to help them plant a flag of sports talk on that amazing platform that you can get for free with the Roku players and Samsung Smart TV, Fire TV, the Roku app on the mobile app, and the RokuChannel.com. We will see you on Monday there. All right, we've got about a minute and a half. Phil in Fargo, North Dakota. Let's take your call before we beat it on down the line. What's up, Phil?
Good evening, good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's going on?
How we doing? Happy Friday.
What's up, brother?
What up, though?
So, I'm actually getting married tomorrow.
Hey.
You sure?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure at this point. Food's booked and everything, so no really backing out now. I just wanted to ask the room, and Rich, you could answer funny answers or serious answers, or Chris Brockman, a.k.a. that bald guy, I guess. If you've got any newlywed or married life advice for me.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Where do we even start? Here's the first thing. For the wedding, okay? For the wedding, you and what's the name of your current fiancé?
Her name is Rachel.
Rachel. You and Rachel need to, at one point, stand in the corner of the room, just the two of you, and take in the moment. You need to stand in the corner of the room because you're going to be pulled in so many different directions. You may even go like a half an hour without seeing Rachel during the affair, because she'll be there, you'll be there, and it's going to go so fast. You need to take a moment for just the two of you to stand in the corner of the room and take in the whole thing. You do that. I think you'll remember that.
Very lovely.
And then just one second, we're saying goodbye to our Roku testing feed. So that saying, in addition, who is the best man that's doing the toast? Do we know who this person is?
That would be my younger brother.
Okay. What's his name?
Garrison.
How trustworthy is Garrison?
Well, he's 18, but I think he's put himself together well enough, so I think he'll do well.
Okay. Is he? I don't mean to get Garrison in any trouble. Does he have any experience? What's the word? Imbibing, drinking. And does he have any experience on that front?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Because we can't have any first timers.
Rich, they live in Fargo. They drink.
I got to ask these questions. These are. This is RES Consulting's most important.
Of course, I understand.
This is we provide many. We provide many different services for RES Consulting. Many different services.
I understand.
Okay, and when people call in, you're not the first to call in and ask for advice before big moments like that, right, guys?
That's true.
Okay, so this is the most important service we provide. So I have to know. All right, so that's good. Have you? Gosh, Chris, do you have any other?
I would say just on the home life. Do you have separate sinks in the bathroom?
Oh, geez.
No separate sinks, but there are 2 full baths in our new house that we just got.
Claim one for you, and then she gets the other one.
Absolutely.
That saved my life before.
How long? What do you mean saved your life?
Didn't you do that backwards? Shouldn't you let her claim one and then you take the second?
Great. Either way, just make everyone having their own bathroom is huge. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay. That's an interesting, very interesting.
Just saying.
Okay, because I have the experience on the wedding day front. You have the experience on the cohabitation front as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I am also asked, how long have you known Rachel?
We've known each other just a little over 2 years.
Okay, this is good. I like it. I like all this stuff. Okay.
Who's the cook in the relationship?
Oh, geez.
It's actually a bit of both. We've been trying out that Hello Fresh stuff for about the last month or so, and we like it a lot. It helps build up our recipes.
Yeah, you went higher register, which means you don't want to throw her under the bus, or you're not that good of a cook. Am I wrong?
I've worked in restaurants for a time.
We're throwing Rachel under the bus with the higher register. We don't. Okay, we're staying positive.
We're positive. This is great.
Is there a rehearsal dinner tonight?
Yes, there is, in about 3 hours.
What's on the menu?
My parents put together a fajita bar, actually.
Oh, that sounds
amazing.
Okay. It's also dicey for the next day, though. It's dicey for the next day. You got to pace yourself tonight.
Eisen, great point.
We can't have any gas.
Plenty of Tums and Pepto, just in case.
No onions.
Yeah, we can't have any repeats during the next day. Like you can't have one of those reflux repeat days. You got to be careful. Tomorrow's the most important day. Don't binge tonight. Be careful tonight.
Correct.
Focus on tomorrow. Have a moment, just the two of you, you and Rachel, you and the Phil and Rachel show, just the two of you guys together at some point. make sure that Rachel gets to choose her bathroom, then you choose another, and then I think we're good, right? I mean, did we get everything done?
I think that's
Don't get too drunk.
No, I think it's the pace yourself tonight.
Yeah, pace yourself.
Right.
Pace
Okay.
yourself.
Very good.
Yep. Lots of compliments.
Phil,
Take lots of pictures.
I think we've got you covered.
I think we're pretty set. I have to thank you on behalf of RES Consulting. That's very, very kind of you
Best
all.
of luck, Phil.
Have a very, very
Call
blessed
us next
weekend.
week.
all.
Tell us how it went.
Will you tweet us some pictures?
Yes, do that.
DM us.
If you want to call back next week, that would be great. We're on the Roku channel. It'll be great.
Certainly.
And again, I guess, on behalf of RES Consulting, on behalf of us to you, our wedding gift to you is that service is gratis on the house. On the house.
Oh,
we will not charge you.
$3.99.
No retainer needed or anything.
None.
It's our advice on the house. On the house.
Well, I appreciate it, Rich. Thank you so much.
You are welcome, sir. Mazel tov.
Mazel
I
tov.
assume
Hey,
that's
all
not
the best,
applicable
brother.
in Fargo, but still take it anyway. I assume there will be no broken glasses, no chuppah. Is there a Fargo chuppah anywhere?
No, none of that.
Okay, very good.
He said none of that.
It's fine, none of that. Very good. Thank you for the call. Great.
Hey, good luck, man.
All right, there you go. It's worth
Thank you
staying.
so much, guys.
It's worth staying after class.
Hey,
here
we've
on
never
YouTube.
stayed this long for a caller, by the way. So
Staying after class.
I like that. That was
All right,
good.
we will
Someone
see.
said we should send him a mug as a gift.
We just gave him something far more valuable. than
Yeah,
a
Chris,
mug.
you teach a man to fish, or you
The
show a
man
man to
could
fish.
screw up his sink any way he wants for the rest of his marriage.
Yeah.
That's more valuable than a sink.
His
than a
brother is
mug.
getting way too hammered for this, right?
Okay.
There's no way.
I'm
it's
concerned
gonna-
about Garrison.
I'm concerned.
18-year-old Garrison sounds like the weakest link. Not gonna lie.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hey, enjoy
thanks
your
for
day.
sticking with us on our YouTube days. We'll see you on the Roku channel on Monday.